Everyone can hear me all right. I had to mess around with my setup here a little bit. You probably know why, right? I've got the capture card running here in a little bit, but good evening. I almost said good morning, right? It feels weird doing one of these streams where there's no game, but it's also not a pregame stream. But I'm trying to do a little bit more of these as we approach the off season. Kind of hard to believe, but hope you guys are all doing well here on this Thursday night. Just gonna settle down, have a little bit of ball talk. We'll fill out our playoff bracket. Just hang out a little bit, but hope you guys are doing well. As always, right, you know the drill. If you're in here, feel free to say hello and chat. See, we got a few people in here already. We've got Caden, Pearchamp, and Laywell in here right now. Welcome to the stream, guys. Good to have you in here. Caden saying woot woot. Nice little wrench right there, right? Newly promoted. I just figured out how to finally promote him to moderator for the chat in the stream, but he'll be able to help us out here today a little bit with what we're doing. We've got Pearchamp in here saying big stream inbound. Oh yeah, you know it. And Laywell's in here saying ball knowledge and cranking 90s. And we got Jack in here too. Welcome to the stream, Jack. Saying the new logo though. Yeah, just dropped. Just got it literally a week ago. For those that might not know the lore behind it, I guess you'd call him my cousin-in-law, but my cousin's husband, big football fan, loves the Carolina Panthers, played football for the University of Nebraska Kearney, which I believe they're D2, D3 maybe. Anyways, loves the channel. And he was kind enough to just draw that up for me, just completely out of the blue. I didn't ask him for anything, right? I didn't say a word. He didn't ask for anything in return, but he just dropped those out of nowhere. I was like, dude, this is so sick. So we've got the new profile picture on YouTube too. We've got a few different logos, right? If you're watching on your computer, you might still see the old Dr. Pigskin, the secondary logo on the bottom right. But we got a few different ones. We got the corporate logo, but we've got the nice little Dr. Football caricature for the YouTube profile pic. So yeah, that was pretty sweet. Shout out Rhett, the homie. But good to have you in here. We got Barack Attell in here saying Eagles all the way. Welcome to the stream, Barack. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. And we've got Pearchamp saying, how's it going, Doc? It's going pretty good. I can't lie. It's going pretty good. We might be getting some winter weather here tomorrow up in North Georgia. Might be. We're going to. We're in a winter storm watch right now. The governor declared a state of emergency today. The county government declared a state of emergency today. I mean, I say this as like, big beast from North Dakota. It's going to be like 3 to 5 inches, which isn't a lot of snow in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, if you're from like the Midwest, you might see like a foot, 2 feet. I will say though, and I do like to point this out now, that is a lot for here because not only are people not used to it, but they just don't have the same infrastructure, right? They don't have as many plows. They don't have as many salt trucks. So when it gets snowy and it gets icy, those roads, they are pretty dangerous. So we'll see. As of right now, I'm still going into work tomorrow. We'll see how long that lasts potentially, or if I'm just there for like an hour or two. But that's the situation. But I'm good, man. I'm ready to talk some playoff football. I'm ready to just hang out. I know we've got some takes and some prompts that were sent in today, so we're ready to get into those while I play a little bit of Fortnite. Because I don't know, man. Ever since they brought back the original map, I've just been playing so much. And sometimes it's nice to just like still talk football, but just like hang out and chill a little bit, interact with you guys. And yeah, Caden, the guy that you might see up top, right? For those that are new, the homie himself, he has done a good job collecting some takes and some prompts and all that stuff that I'm going to respond to while I'm playing. But we've got a good crowd in here now. Looks like we got 15 people in here. That's crazy, man. People are just filing in and out. If you're new, appreciate you guys tuning in and joining. As always, I've got a few new subscribers from the video. I'm glad you guys have enjoyed that. But enough beating around the bush, man. I think we just get right into it. I think we just dive right in. It just feels so weird. It just like there's not a game going on right now. But I got to get my sea legs back for this, right? Because this is what we're going to be doing in the off season. But first, we've got some playoff football to talk about. So let's get the bracket pulled up right here. There's a lot of anticipation over this. People have been sending them in the Discord, which, by the way, I'm going to keep on plugging it, going to keep on promoting it. If you haven't, I recommend you guys join the Discord. A lot of great discussion going on in there. A lot of updates posted in there. Some fun contests being held in there. And I mean, we're just getting started with that. But I've got the link in a community post. I might try and track the link down here. Let me actually pull it up here real quick. I'll post it in chat here too. But if you're not in there, I highly recommend you find your way to the Dr. Pigskin Family Discord. We're having a great discussion today about the Hall of Fame case that George Kittle might have. Hitchhiker's Pie was giving us an excellent math lesson. Some good stuff. Look at that. Caden's on the ball. He's got the link. All right. I don't even need to do all that. Caden's on the ball. He's got the link. Jack is saying he's carried by the rocket launcher in Fortnite. Oh, I feel you, man. Dude, I love getting a rocket launcher. Oh, just letting it rip. But, all right. So there's the link for the Discord if you guys want to go join. But let's just get into this. We've got the bracket pulled up right here, right? I'm using Pro Football Network. A lot of people have been using that to fill theirs out. And, I mean, we'll just go over the matchups here real quick, right? 6 games going on in the wild card round. We've got Broncos Bills, we've got Steelers Ravens, we've got Chargers Texans, Packers Eagles, Commanders Bucks, Vikings Rams. A lot of rematches in here. A lot of games that we've already seen before. I believe 4 of these first 6 games are rematches, and we've got some good ones. But we're just going to go matchup by matchup. I'll break it down a little bit. I'll pick my winner, and we'll see who ends up coming out on top here as I fill this thing out. I think I have a good idea. Although I don't know. I've been thinking about this a little bit, but Label asking what would insinuate a ban from chat. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I feel like as long as we're nice to each other, anything goes, right? You know, maybe disagreeing with my Geno Smith take. I don't know. Talking about Shane Waldron. There you go. That's valid. Hey, I hear the Seahawks need an offensive coordinator right now. That's all I'll say. Anyways, miss me yet? All right. So first matchup. This is an interesting one to start on. Broncos, Bills. And we'll be good. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I didn't plan a whole lot for this, but Broncos, Bills is one that I'm actually super excited to talk about because to be honest with you, now you know what, we will. We'll pull up the matchup on ESPN so people know what I'm talking about if they like join in, and then I'll go back and make my pick. How's that sound? Scores. I'm so sorry. Bear with me, y'all. My brain is still warming up. It's 8:07. It should be plenty warm, but we'll start with Broncos Bills. This one I think is kind of interesting. You know, we haven't seen the 7 seed fare very well since the NFL expanded playoffs, right? We just saw our first 7 seed win last year. Granted, it's only been a thing for a few years now, though, right? I have been thinking about this game a lot because, to be honest with you, I could smell an upset. Now, I don't think I'm going to go quite as far. Also, I'm sorry. It hasn't switched over on my my stream. I see. I was doing all that. I'm sorry. I don't have it right now. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch. Not that. There we go. Yeah, there's no way that anyone's going to get banned. But Barack is saying he's got Buffalo and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Well, here's the thing with Buffalo. I'm a little skeptical of their defense, and I kind of hinted at that, right? If you tuned into my stream on Sunday. You know, granted, they've been banged up a little bit, but they've been tested against some good competition, and the results have been mixed. They've had some good performances. They've got a really talented roster. But you think about the Rams game, you think about the game that the Ravens kind of went crazy on them, right? The Texans had one of their better games on offense against them. Even like the Colts game, Jonathan Taylor was running pretty well, right? It's kind of frustrating with the Bills because you could see the concentrated effort that they've made to kind of fix some of the issues that's plagued their defense the past few years, right? In the past, this has kind of been a team where you can just pound the rock on them, run the ball, you know, maybe dink and dunk down the field. They like to put a ceiling over things, prevent the big play. But if you're patient and disciplined and you can run the ball, then you can kind of get them on defense. And that's the big reason why they got rid of Leslie Frazier in the first place, right? Now Sean McDermott's kind of in charge. They've been playing a little bit more man. But for the most part, still kind of the same idea, right? I tell you what, this is a Broncos team that can kind of pick at that and take advantage of that a little bit. This is a Broncos team that I think could actually hang with the Bills at the line of scrimmage, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. You look at how good this Broncos offensive line is. You look at how good their defensive line has been, right? I mean, they led the league in sacks this year. Bo Nix, I know we've talked a lot about him, right? But he is one of those guys that like loves to take the underneath stuff, and he will pick you apart with these dump offs and these check downs and these short throws. And the Broncos have such a great screen game. And then as soon as they lull you in, he'll like hit a deep ball downfield to Cortland Sutton, right? That's how the Broncos have been playing all season long. I think this Bills defense is a decent defense to execute that game plan against. If they could keep it close, I think it's a little interesting. Now, the reason why I haven't gone all the way is to like pick the Broncos is because the Bills have Josh Allen, and he kind of cooks defenses like Denver a little bit. You look at how much man coverage they run. Yes, they get a lot of pressure, but Josh is just so good at getting out of pressure and avoiding sacks, and he can scramble around and take off downfield, right? I don't always like to boil it down to the quarterback, but man, Josh Allen being the quarterback of the Bills, like that is honestly probably the biggest difference in this game. Here's what I'll say. I'm going to pick the Bills, but I think it's going to be a very, very close game. It would not shock me if this game was like tied in the fourth quarter, or there's like 7 minutes left and Denver has a 3-point lead and it's like, oh, can they hold on? I don't know. I think if you think that the Bills just run away with this one, I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think this is the same story as last year. It was like, oh, they get the Mason Rudolph Steelers in the first round. I don't know. I'm not looking past this Broncos team whatsoever. They're very good on the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. They're well coached. Obviously, they've got Surtain back there. I don't know. I'm going to pick the Bills, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a bit of a closer game. But Pair Champ saying Broncos defense is made to focus on stopping the wide receiver one on the opponent's team, but if the opponent can utilize other weapons, they should be fine, like how the Bengals still succeeded with T. Higgins. Oh, yeah, right. Who's the other guy going to be? Surtain is great. Surtain is great. Riley Moss is pretty good, but, you know, who's going to be the guy that can step up? Surtain can only erase one guy, right? Is it going to be a Shakir game? Is it going to be a Keon Coleman game? Maybe Kincaid gets involved a little bit, right? I do think for as much as the Bills want to run the ball, I don't know. I don't know that it's going to be a big James Cook game necessarily. It wouldn't shock me if Josh led the Bills in rushing yards in this game. I think Josh could rush for like 80, 85 yards in this game just because, I don't know, there's nothing open downfield, right? Broncos DBs have their backs turned, and Josh just like gets out of a sack and runs for 20 yards, and that happens a few times. That could legitimately be the difference in this game, I think. I think this is going to be one of the better games of round one, which you normally don't say about a 7-2 game, but I'm gonna take the Bills at home still. I won't go that far, but I don't know. If the Broncos won, I don't think that'd be the craziest thing in the world. I have been trying to shake this feeling for the past week that like one of the big dogs in the AFC is going to go down. It's like, well, I don't think it's going to be the Ravens. But then the Zay Flower injury news came in. Zay Flowers, he's out now. So let's talk about this game. I don't know, man. I don't know. Pair Champ saying also the Bills are the only team to beat the Chiefs, not counting Week 18, despite the Chiefs using dark magic this season. Right? I mean, it is like I say all this. Buffalo could just as easily go on and win the Super Bowl with the way they've played this year, right? You could argue, I might argue, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the world. I know I had Lamar as my first team All-Pro on Twitter today. I think that's a different story, but regardless, right? I mean, the defense is talented. They've got a great offensive line. Joe Brady's been a great offensive coordinator. Like, all the ingredients are there for the Bills to get it done and finally win it all this year. That defense gives me a little bit of pause, though. It gives me a little bit of pause, but we'll see. We'll get deeper into the playoffs before we tackle that a little bit more. But Bosephine Lucifer Nixon the fourth. Where do Broncos fans even begin? There's no way that Lucifer is his middle name, right? There's just no way. Isn't he like from the South? Hold on, I gotta look this up now. There's no way. Pro Football Reference would know. Bo Chapman Nix. Okay. I can't believe I fell for that. Jack. Ryan Nasty made it. Let's go. He said he's late, but he's here. Hey, no such thing as being late, right? Always welcome to just drop on in whenever, right? Appreciate you tuning in. And hey, we're going to talk about your Bucks here in a little bit. They're in the offs. They're in the playoffs. How about it? Parent Champ saying if the Bills win the Super Bowl, Von Miller will be the first player in NFL history to win the Super Bowl with 3 different teams. I suppose, yeah, right? Broncos, Rams, and then Bills. That is kind of surprising. That's never been done before. I guess 3 teams is a lot, but still, that is kind of surprising. All right, anyways, I'm all over the place. Steelers, Ravens, next game. I think if there is going to be a blowout in the first round, it might be this game. I don't know. I was kind of gassing up the Steelers a little bit like a month ago, and then they proceeded to play like their worst month of football. I don't know. The offense looks broken right now. And then on the other end, the Ravens defense has kind of been playing out of their minds, right? I mean, you want to look at the way they've just turned things around. Early start of the year for the Ravens, the defense was not looking good. It was kind of a cause for concern. Oh, man, they missed Mike McDonald. They're just kind of all over the place. The pass rush isn't getting home. Their linebackers are blowing assignments and stuff like that. They lost to the Raiders, all that stuff. Man, I tell you what, and I touched on this a little bit on Sunday. They just decided, you know what, let's put Kyle Hamilton back at safety. And since then, their pass defense has just taken off. And Marlon Humphrey's finally been healthy again this year. He's had a fun return to form. All pro caliber season from him. The rookie Nate Wiggins is looking really good. This is a very, very tough team to score on for any team, let alone the Steelers offense that just has looked inept. I mean, they are limping into the playoffs right now. I mean, I'm looking like what? They've lost their last 4. That was the big test for them, right? How for real is this team? You've got the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals win a game. They didn't win a single one. And it makes me sad, right? I love Mike Tomlin. I love this Steelers team. But I don't know. I just don't know that they really have it, to be honest with you. I think this one could be ugly. I think the spread is 9.5. It's 8.5. I feel pretty good taking Pittsburgh in this one. I just don't see what kind of answers, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I don't see what kind of answers the Steelers are going to have on offense, right? I mean, it really is just, let's just throw it up to George Pickens and hope that something cool happens. The Ravens don't really have a corner you can pick on to do that. Maybe you get a little bit of the Mike Tomlin devil magic. Maybe you get a bad Justin Tucker game or something like that. But I mean, if you think about the first time these two teams played, right? Because the Steelers, to their credit, did beat the Ravens earlier on in the season. But what? Justin Tucker missed a few field goals. Derrick Henry had some fumbles. And the Ravens had a chance to tie it with the 2-point conversion. They didn't get it. Like, it was all of that. And the Steelers won by 2 points. And it was in Heinz Field. I don't know, man. I don't think this Pittsburgh team can go on the road. I said like a month ago, this ain't the same Kenny Pickett Steelers that just kept sneaking into the playoffs. I don't know. It kind of feels like they are now. It is kind of a shame. They are kind of running in place a little bit. I don't know what you do because it's hard to get rid of Tomlin, but also, where do you go from here? I mean, you've been in this spot since like 2016, like Jack is saying, right? Jack says Mike Tomlin is a legendary coach, but man, the team hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. How much longer can they be happy with such stagnation? I don't know, man. I mean, and it can be easy to just like, well, like we just need to figure out the quarterback situation. True, to an extent, maybe. But also, at what point do you shake it up? I'm not even going to say fire Tomlin because, dude, like that would just be such a difficult decision to make. But it's the same story every year with them. I don't know. I can't see them beating the Ravens. This Ravens team, especially as a 3 seed, this is a very dangerous team, man. We'll see how they fare in this bracket, but I could see them going pretty far. I might go off of my preseason Super Bowl prediction. I had one. You guys might remember it. Both those teams happen to be in the playoffs. I might switch it up. That's how much I like this Ravens team. We'll see. Oh, we'll talk about that hypothetical matchup here in a little bit. But let's do Chargers-Texans next. Death, taxes, and the Texans getting the first game of the playoffs. Every single Texans playoff game ever has been the first game on a Saturday, right? I believe that's the stat. Literally every single time they've made the playoffs, they've always been the first game on. I feel kind of bad for them, but also like they might kind of deserve it. I honestly think it's probably between the Texans and the Chargers for who the worst team in the playoffs is. I don't know, man. I've had my whole Texans take the whole year, right? They're 1-5 against playoff teams. They just have so many flaws. And this isn't an indictment on Stroud or their wide receivers or even D'Amico Ryans, right? You can see the appeal with this team. You can see some of the ingredients there. Also, sorry, I need to cough for a sec. Excuse me. Oh. Right? Okay, CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, like that's an electric pairing. Okay, their edge rushers, Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson, that's great. Derek Stingley is great. D'Amico Ryans is a pretty good defensive mind. But that's kind of about it, to be honest. They're just very top heavy. They just don't quite have the depth yet to be like one of the big boys. And we've seen that this year. This offensive line has been a big liability. It is hard to win in the playoffs with a bad offensive line. And this is probably like one of the, 4-5 worst offensive lines in the league. I mean, if you watch a Texans game, Stroud is just running for his life every single drop back. And their run game is so stop and start. Against a bad team, Joe Mixon might go for 158. And then the next week, it's 19 carries for 23 yards. I mean, I legitimately think he's at a stat line almost exactly like that this year, right? And Slowick hasn't exactly been a great play caller. It's just run for 1 yard, run for 2 yards, 3rd and 7. Please, CJ, save us, you know? It's been kind of ugly to watch at times. And it's so sad because, again, like you could see the potential with this Texans team. You could see some reasons to get excited about them. I just don't think they're quite there yet. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan Astley. This is kind of what Stroud's rookie season was supposed to be like, right? Like, it's kind of gone in reverse. Like, everything was so much smoother and easier his rookie year. Everything has been so much harder his sophomore year. And I tell you what, man, I kind of like the Chargers. I don't know. They're well coached. The defense is pretty good, right? Herbert, if you want to talk about like, well, the Texans have Stroud, yeah, but the Chargers have Herbert. And you look at like, oh, the Texans have Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. Okay, the Chargers have Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. Like, they kind of have the tackles that could take care of that edge unit, right? You start looking at some of the beef up front for this Chargers defense, which, shout out Jack Gothberg, welcome to the stream, saying Chargers defense is very underrated. It is, right? Not a ton of big names on there. I mean, obviously you've got Bosa and Mack, right? Thule's been really good. They've got a great pass rush. How about Big Puna Ford, right? Dr. Pigskin favorite right there. They've got some guys that I think can kind of throttle this Texans offensive line a little bit, right? The linebackers have been good. How about Deion Henley? Like, very underrated rookie. They have absolutely killed this draft class. They have rebuilt this defense so quickly, as Pishu is saying. Shout out Pishu. Welcome to the stream. Chargers no longer have Brandon Staley. I mean, it's completely night and day difference, right? And I may have my soft spot for Brandon Staley, but the truth is Jesse Minter has been an immense upgrade at defensive coordinator for him. The personnel's a lot better. I could see this one getting ugly. I don't know. I see the line is 2.5. I think the Chargers could cover that, to be honest. I'm kind of with you, Lovato. I honestly think the Chargers could like win this game by 10. I just don't see a lot of answers for the Texans, right? Again, like Chargers tackles, I think they can kind of hold up pretty well, at least as well as possible, against these Texans edge players, right? Even like Derek Stingley, who I love, and I had him on my fake All-Pro team, right? He's probably going to be out on the boundary. I mean, he's been more comfortable playing out there than the slot. I read he has 12 snaps in the slot this year. So it's not even like Stingley's going to be on Ladd that much. I just don't see a lot of answers for the Texans in this matchup. I'm already kind of low on the Texans to begin with, and I honestly think this Chargers team is a pretty bad matchup for them. I'm going to say that the Chargers win this one pretty easily too. I'm with you. We'll take our first underdog. I say that. I think the Chargers are favored. I think they're road favorites. They are, but we'll take the Chargers in this one. Our first lower seed getting a win. How about that? That'll do it for the AFC side. Let's talk about the NFC. But first, let's catch up with chat. Good to see some more people in here. Look at that. Everyone filing in. We got Lovato saying hello, everyone. Hello to you. Good to have you in here. We got Dime in here. Welcome to the stream, Dime. Same record both years, talking about the Texans. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they were like awful, terrible, right? Like they still got their 10 wins. They still won the division, but it's just the vibes are not nearly the same. There are higher expectations this year, but this honestly does feel like a weaker team than last year. I honestly think if you put the 2023 Texans up against the 2024 Texans, I would favor the 23 Texans, to be honest with you. Dime is saying, look up playoff defenses that DeMeco Ryans has coached. Look at rushing yards. I'm going to assume, probably referring to the 49ers, right? He had some crazy game plans with the 49ers, I will say. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But Wolf forgot I was streaming. Hey, no issue with that. Am I a fake for watching Notre Dame and Penn State instead of the Cavs? No, not at all, right? It's the college football playoff. It's a big game, right? Semifinals, right? Not a fake at all, right? The Cavs have 82 games. You can catch the next one. Plus, that Cavs game last night. Did the Cavs win? They were playing the Thunder, right? Did they win that game? I know that was like one of the most hyped regular season games we've seen in a minute in the NBA. So we forgive you. But let's go into the NFC now. All right. Packers, Eagles. A lot of question marks about the health of the quarterbacks in this one. Man, I hope both of them play. This could be a great matchup if everyone's healthy. Another, again, talking about some rematches. Saw this week 1 in Brazil. I was live for this one. Man, that felt like a long time ago. But here we are now, the rematch. Is Jordan Love going to be healthy? Is Jalen Hurts going to be healthy? That's probably even the bigger question. Love should play. Hurts is questionable with a concussion. I'm going to assume that Hurts plays. If Hurts doesn't play, yeah, I'm picking the Packers. If Hurts plays, I still might lean the Packers. I don't know. Though. You look at like Green Bay's track record against some of the best teams in the league this year. It hasn't been great. I've always been kind of high on this Packers team, though. And it's not like they've gotten blown out, right? Like, okay, both the Vikings games, all things considered, were pretty close. We can look at the win probability chart and like all this. And yes, the Vikings controlled most of the game, but I'm willing to admit, like, both of those Vikings games were close at the end, right? That Lions game, especially the second one, that was a close game. The Eagles game, that was a close game. All these are games that they could have won, right? But just one thing or another didn't quite bounce their way. You know, Lions getting all these fourth downs, CJ Ham and Cam Akers making these crucial catches and stuff like that, right? But this is a very good team. They can run the ball. They can hit deep shots off play action with Jordan Love and these receivers. And the defense is not bad. I don't think it's great by any means. I don't think it's like a strength of the team, but it's a lot better than it's been in recent years. I will say that. Maybe not quite as good as this Eagles defense. It's been hard to get a gauge on the Eagles these past few weeks, right? Because they haven't had Jalen Hurts. I mean, they've also just kind of been cruising a little bit. I don't know. I don't even know, man. See, this Eagles team is another high variance team where honestly, I could see them like making a run to the Super Bowl, but I could also see them losing this game. And especially with no Hurts, they probably would lose. Saquon ran wild last time. See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't like do a crazy amount of prep for this. Like, this is my honest, organic, genuine pick right now. I have not really sat down and thought, who's going to win this game? Packers or Eagles? I don't know. I'm with you, Ryan Asti. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with the Packers. That's crazy. I'm going to go with my gut and go with the Packers. All right. That was like what I initially thought when I first saw this matchup. I was like, I think the Packers get him this time. It's going to be tough though, right? They're going to have to hem in Saquon. They're going to have to hem in A.J. Brown. Both those guys caused problems for Green Bay in the first time around, right? Packers have switched up their defensive approach a little bit in coverage, though. They do a lot less single high stuff now, right? We talked about that during the Vikings-Packers stream because A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith just absolutely cooked them last time when they left one safety out there, left Jair out on an island. And, to his credit, right, he did get his pick and he tried to run out. But, also, A.J. Brown got some big, big plays on him. But, all right, we've got 2 games left here in the wild card round. Commanders and Bucks. Let's pull this up here. Sorry, I'm dealing with an administrative stream thing right now. But to answer your question, Caden, if you can't, I can. I will be able to, and I can take care of that. But that is weird that it's not letting you do that. This is for the next phase of the stream. But let's check up with chat here, too, before we dive into Bucks Commanders. But I'm going live for Bucks Commanders. At least that's the plan right now. I should be able to go live for this one. I'm pretty fired up for this one. This could be a pretty good game, I think. Another week 1 rematch. But Jack saying if Jair's playing, the Packers could slow down offense, but it'll be tough without him. Yeah. I mean, Jair just straight up might never, I'm not going to say might never play again, but I don't know. He just doesn't play football as much anymore. But Pear Champ saying Packers and Texans feel like similar teams. Houston last year won their division and won an upset last year in the playoffs. Packers were a 7 seed last year and win against the NFC East. This year, they both feel like they've taken a step back. Texans more than the Packers. This year, they will probably lose in the first round. Interesting. Yeah, I can see that. I think that's fair to show the parallels, right? You've got the young up-and-coming quarterbacks and all the excitement around them. And, the expectations were, well, if they were that good last year, this year they're going to be in the Super Bowl. And I feel like that was a pretty trendy Super Bowl pick going into the year, right? Texans versus Packers. I could see that. I think the Packers, I don't know. I trust LaFleur a lot more than Bobby Slowick, and that goes a long way for me. And I like this Packers line in this running game. I do think the Packers are still a little bit more complete of a team. Oh, is LaFleur going to have something for me? I don't know. Maybe that's just me picking Matt LaFleur. I am a big Matt LaFleur head. I think he's probably one of the 5 or 6 best coaches in the NFL. Maybe LaFleur gets it done for the Packers, but that should be a pretty good one. But we got Adri the Alchemist in here saying, just started watching your content. It's top tier. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in and joining in. And I always appreciate kind words like that. So that just made my day. I appreciate that. But also, we got Wolf. What did Wolf say? In order for the Rams to make the NFC title game, which is my prediction, either the Commanders or the Packers have to pull off the upset, and I believe it's the Commanders, but if it's not, then it's Jordan Love. Well, I think the Commanders have a shot in this game, too. I don't know. Also, Lovato making a great point. Everything I think is great about the Packers, the Eagles are better. That is fair. I do think the Packers have the slight edge at quarterback, maybe coaching. I would favor LaFleur over Kellen Moore. Vic Fangio is pretty good though, so maybe not. Maybe it's just me being silly and being biased towards the Midwest or something stupid like that. But that is a fair point. Everything I've gassed up for the Packers, I was just oh, by the way, the Eagles exist. I'm not even gonna talk about them. Saquon. No, that's a fair point though. That's a fair point. But yeah, I think Jair is done for the year. But Pear Champ says he feels like the Packers are lacking an edge over tougher teams. Beat the Chiefs and Lions last year, but couldn't take down a top dog this year. That is true. Yeah, I forgot about that Chiefs game on Sunday night. That was a crazy game. Atmosphere was electric in Lambeau for that one. Trade for Crosby. We'll see. We'll see. I saw that Instagram post you sent this morning. We'll see. Everyone wants to trade for Crosby, but I will be going live for a Bucks game. I know it's been a minute. I think the last one was the Bucks Falcons Thursday night game, which feels like years ago, especially considering the trajectory of both those teams since then. But Ryan Asti saying, we know who I'm choosing. Let's do it. Let's talk about Commanders versus Bucks. Bucks hosting, winning the division again. Man, I mean, they just keep getting it done, right? I think I lean Bucks here. Again, I'm going to be talking about the running game a lot in the playoffs because that's just, as much of a cliche as that is, it travels well, man. And I love this Bucks offensive line. And the Commanders defense has been a nice surprise. It has not been the complete liability that I thought it would be. That was something I was incredibly concerned about going into the years. Oh man, this Commanders defense is going to stink. It has not stunk. It has been all right. There's still maybe some holes you can poke at, especially you look at like the corner room. Man, they better hope that Marshawn Lattimore plays, and not just for like entertainment purposes of watching him go against Mike Evans again, right? But also like if he doesn't, and I'm sorry, Jack. But that means that Benjamin St. Just is going to be on Mike Evans, and that might not be a fun time for the Commanders if that's the case, right? You know, the Bucs kind of trolled a little bit last week against the Saints, but then they locked in. It is fair to say this Bucs defense is pretty banged up right now, especially in the secondary, right? This Commanders offense has kind of been feeling it. You think maybe they can make some adjustments from their first game. Jaden's obviously a lot more comfortable in the NFL now. His running could give them some fits. I do think, though, the non-Jaden Daniels runs might be tough sledding for the Commanders, going up against Vita Vea and this Bucs run defense, right? Again, I like to call Vita Vea, he's just a one-man run defense. Just Vita Vea alone raises the ceiling of this Tampa run defense so much. And honestly, a big part of what the Commanders have been able to do is their running game through their backs, not even just Daniels, but Robinson, Eckler, McNichols. Like, that's been a great trio for them. Oh, man, I think this one's going to be a shootout. I could see both these teams scoring near 30, honestly. I don't know, but I am with you, Lovato. The Bucs are a little bit more of a well-rounded team. I just love this offensive line so much. I could see Bucky Irving having a big game in this. And again, like, if there's no Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans might feast in this one. And we saw him feast in week 1 against Washington. Baker should have plenty of time, a lot of clean pockets. I like this Tampa offense a little bit more. I like their experience a little bit more. I'm gonna go with the Bucs here. Give me the Bucs in a fun shootout on Sunday night. I do think this game's gonna be electric though. Oh, that's gonna be great. But one more matchup here in the wild card round. Oh boy. The Minnesota Vikings. But let's catch up with chat here first. Wolf saying the Vikings are going to Glendale. No home field might actually be cooked. Is that true? Was that just confirmed? Is that actually happening? Vikings versus Rams location. I know that's been the rumor. Yeah, that's like one of the big stories about this game, right? Is like, is this even going to happen, or is it going to happen in Arizona? It is moved to Arizona. Yeah, 47 minutes ago on NFL.com. NFL announced on Thursday the Monday night game between the Vikings and Rams has been moved to Glendale, Arizona. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, dude. That sucks so much for the Rams. You lose your home field advantage, right? I mean, beyond just like what's happening right now in Los Angeles, and hopefully everyone out there is staying safe, right? I mean, you have to completely rework your travel plans now and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just not a good situation. It sucks, dude. And hopefully it has no impact on the game itself, right? Like, hopefully the Rams can still show up and play well. Yeah, and I'm saying this as a Vikings fan, right? Not as just a Vikings fan, but as a neutral football enjoyer. Like, you know, it would kind of like, obviously I'm going to take a win if I'm the Vikings, right? But it would suck if it's like a Mickey Mouse, like, you know. And I get what you're saying, like home field advantage to the fans, but like there's more than that, right? It's a psychological aspect, right? You're familiar with the stadium. You're familiar with your commute to the stadium. You don't have to go to another state and like stay in a hotel and stuff like that. Like, yes, I get that like the Rams don't have like this crazy like loud atmosphere at SoFi, right? But there's more than just that goes into home field advantage, and like it's gonna affect the whole team. It will. It probably will have an impact on this game, fair or not. But yeah, that is news to me too. Indeed, that was just broken to me over chat. So shout out chat for keeping me up to date. I don't know how I didn't see that. I didn't see like anything on my phone or anything, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah. I mean, it's not ideal, but anyways, that's not even what I meant. I was like, we'll take just like getting the news, whatever. We're going to move on. How many fans do the Rams and Chargers have? Though? No, I get it. We do got to get a bot that notifies when I'm going live in the Discord. That would be pretty nice. Yeah. Maybe we can sit down and figure that out sometime. But all right. Vikings, Rams. in Arizona now. Let's get this game pulled up here. This is another game. It's like, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, dude. If Sam shows up and plays all right, then maybe you feel pretty, I don't know. I'm trying not to be too much of a doomer right now, right? It's going to be nice to just get the taste of defeat out of our mouths. Here's what I'll say. I still believe in this Vikings team enough where, like, you know what? We belong in the playoffs. We're obviously a very good team. 14-3, right? This Rams team did kind of get us last time, though. Stafford kind of went crazy. I mean, he and Puka went off. And the Rams just, again, same thing as the Lions, just attacking that middle of the field. It just kind of works against the Brian Flores defense. Just a lot of space for these linebackers and safeties to cover down the middle when you're loading up the front so much, right? And you can just hit Puka on a nice little crosser for like 20 yards, right? Playoff Stafford terrifies me. I can't lie, right? Locked in playoff Stafford as a dangerous beast to deal with. And this Rams defense, that's what's kind of been coming on for them recently, right? That's kind of what got them in the playoffs, to be honest. Outside of that shootout with the Bills, it's really been the Rams defense that's been leading the way. A lot of close, low-scoring games for them. This defensive line for the Rams is nasty, right? Braden Fisk and Jared Verse, the rookies, have been dudes. Kobe Turner is a dude. Byron Young is a dude, right? Secondary is still not great, though. And I think that's the hope if you're the Vikings, right? The hope is that you just need Jefferson to cook. You need Addison to cook, right? But you need Sam to hit the throws when they're there. That's really what killed him against Detroit. You know, you want to hear some Vikings copium, right? This was talked about the Discord a little bit. If you want some Vikings cope, if Sam played even like 20% better on Sunday, that's a lot closer of a game. Not sure that the Vikings still win necessarily, but they just left so many points on the table in the red zone because Sam would miss throws or miss open guys and this and that. And that's what you get when you sign up for the Sam Darnold experience, right? There's ups and there's downs, but you take the downs because it comes with the ups. He's aggressive. He pushes the ball downfield, all that good stuff. Oh, man. I want to pick the Vikings, and I think I will. But also, I think if I was thinking with my head, I might actually pick the Rams, to be honest with you. I will say that's fair points. Not quite the same Stafford. He's been playing much worse. He still has it in him, though, right? He has not been quite as consistent this year as he's been, like, last year, for example, right? Like, I think he was a little bit better last year. But I still think he has some high-level play in him. You think about the Vikings-Rams game on Thursday, right? You think about the game against the Bills, right? Like, you think about the game against the Lions week 1. We know Stafford still can turn in a vintage performance. It all comes down to protecting him. If this Vikings defense can get after Stafford, I think they can win the game. That was also one of the big differences from this previous matchup, right? Vikings just did not touch Stafford at all that entire night. If the Vikings could get a little bit more pressure on him, I think they can win this game. They've got the guys to do it. Hopefully Flores has learned from his mistakes from the first matchup. I'm going to pick the Vikings. Let's do it. Let's pick the Vikings. But Cooper Kupp has gotten a little bit old. Puka is Stafford's new favorite. Oh, he's the wide receiver one now. And Puka's also just that dude. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen my my All-Pro team. I snuck Puka on second team. I know he's been injured a little bit, but he's just so good, dude. He is such a beast. I love Puka so much. But Cooper Kupp also looking bad. Yeah, it's coming for him a little bit. Age. He's just not the athlete he once was. He is now like the actual slot merchant, like scheme merchant that people thought he was a few years ago. But yeah. Caden's on page 10 of Google and hasn't seen a post on whether he's able to or not. That stinks. Well, I tell you what, I'll be able to pin a message. I was testing it out earlier. You might have seen that when you left your first message here. So I'll be able to do it. But that is kind of a bummer that you can't. We'll figure something out at some point. But Wolf asking when we hopping on Fortnite. Once I get through this bracket, the wildcard round took a minute, so we might go a little bit quicker here for the divisional and all that stuff. But the wildcard round took a minute. I forgot how long it takes for me to like yap about these games and pick them sometimes. But all right, divisional round is set. We'll go a little bit quicker here, right? Because we've got a lot to get to. It's not just playing Fortnite. But you guys have been kind enough to turn in some takes and some discussion points, and Caden has cooked up some, and we're going to be talking ball while we play too. Just a nice little like Thursday night relaxation. Man, I just cannot talk today. I don't know if my brain is cooked right now or what, but I don't know. Have the Vikings even landed in LA? Probably not, is my guess. They probably wait until the last minute to do that because something like this might happen. But yes, Wolf plugging the Discord. Yes, join the Discord. Please, please. We are building something here. Let's do this. All right. Divisional round, Chargers versus Chiefs. We'll just keep it on here and go through these a little bit quicker. This is an interesting matchup. And like I said on Sunday, if you ask a lot of Chiefs fans, they might say, honestly, the Chargers is one of the tougher matchups for them. Now, the big concern with the Chiefs this year has been their offensive line. It's been their tackle play. But I tell you what, it's just kind of funny that they said, like, let's just put Joe Tooney at left tackle, and then, like, that'll just solve our problems. Like, let's just put our guard at tackle. And I tell you what, like, dude, this Chiefs offense has been super good recently, past 2 weeks. Hollywood Brown is back. The line is playing better. Mahomes has looked a lot better. The defense is still pretty good, right? Maybe a little bit banged up. It's hard to pick against the Chiefs in Arrowhead, though. They're playing their best ball right now. I do like this Chargers team. They're well coached. They always play the Chiefs close, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. It's hard to go against them. Here's an interesting one. Bills-Ravens. I might lean Ravens. I think they're the better team, to be honest with you. I think Derrick Henry could be in line for another monster game. Lamar is playing out of his mind right now. Zay Flowers might be back at this point. Man, and this Ravens defense is so good. Like, they've been one of the best defenses in the league second half of the season. And that's been such a difference maker because I think their offense is just at maybe a slightly higher level than it was last year. They have that power running game they can turn to. They've got Mark Andrews. Rashad Bateman has broken out. Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. I mean, it's such a good unit on offense, and it's such a fascinating mix of size and speed and power. I don't know, man. I think the Ravens are better than the Bills. I think they could go into Buffalo and win. I don't know, but Lovato saying air quality made it impossible to play. Yeah, I guess, yeah. If you're in Brazil, that's fair. You might not know. So there's a lot of fires going on in Los Angeles right now. It's actually pretty terrible. Just a lot of fires, a lot of smoke. It's been spreading. There's one that just started near the Rams facility. It's been pretty bad. So, yeah, that's why they're moving the game. But Wolf saying, am I playing Fort with viewers? Leywell is liking what he's saying as far as the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I tell you what, that's an interesting proposition. Well, you'll probably see my gamer tag in a little bit once I pull it up. If you want to add me, go ahead and maybe we can get some games in here. We'll see. I planned on doing a little bit of solos and just talking with you guys. But you know what? If you want to add me, maybe we can play. We'll see. I don't hate that idea, though. I mean, if you guys want to add me on Xbox, I truly have no issue with that. You'll see my gamer tag and everything. Go right ahead, man. And again, another plus of being in the Discord, right? I'm going to keep plugging that Discord. But Pearchamp saying his heart wants the Bills to win, but his head said Ravens win. I'm with you. It would be cool to see the Bills, like, finally get over the hump this year. The Ravens are another team that kind of needs to get over the hump, though, too. Granted, they've won a Super Bowl. They've won 2, but still. All right, Packers-Lions. I am going to go Lions here, right? We've seen this matchup twice already. The Lions have won both of them, right? And again, I might be higher on the Packers than most, but I don't know, man. The Lions, I still think even with all these injuries, they might be the best team in the NFL, and they showed it on Sunday. I mean, they're just so deep on both sides of the ball, so well coached on both sides of the ball. I don't know what else there is to say, man. In Detroit, Ford Field is going to be rocking. Yeah, I'm going with the Lions. Wait, I picked the wrong team. I picked the Bucks to win. Okay, that doesn't change anything. It just changes the matchup. Vikings, Bucks, and Tampa. This game would be crazy. I might actually be able to go to this game if this game happens, depending on what day it's on. That would actually be a little crazy. We'll see if this happens or not, but this would be insane. Vikings, Bucks. I'm going to go Vikings. No, why I did not pick the Packers. There we go. Look at the doctor picking the Vikings to win in the playoffs. All this doom and gloom again. I don't know. You worry about the secondary in Tampa a little bit. I just think I don't know, man. Justin Jefferson versus that secondary. Jordan Addison in the passing game. I would be a little worried about Bucky Irving going crazy against us, though, right? I do think that this would be a tricky-ish matchup for us, but I don't think that I don't know. I don't think that Tampa's defense is like insane enough where it's like, oh, they're going to sack Sam Darnold 4 times. I do think there could be some points. And again, like it's easy for me to say as a Vikings fan, like, yeah, of course we're going to win. But I would probably favor the Vikings over the Bucks just a little bit. I still think they're a little bit. No thought of that Vikings Bucks pick. Okay, here's what I'll say. I think if you want to make a case for the Bucks winning, it'd be Bucky Irving having a great game on the ground. This Buccaneers offensive line is pretty good. Maybe they can stand up to the rush a little bit, protect Baker. They hit a couple big plays to Mike Evans, right? The corners for the Vikings maybe are a little bit of a question mark outside of Byron Murphy. We saw Mike Evans kind of have his way against the Vikings last time these two teams played. That is fair to say. There is absolutely a path to victory for the Bucks here. But I'm going to bet on the Vikings offensive firepower and maybe me being slightly biased. But Wolf saying, I think you'll get a lot more viewers in the Discord. The next video upload, you'll get a lot of views in there. Hey, well, let's go. I'm actually working on my next video right now. I'm trying to be a little bit more organized on turnaround time and like getting videos out. And I know like my videos take a long time and that's just how it is, right? And if I upload once every few months, so be it. I'm balancing this with like a full-time job right now. So like there's only so much I can do, but I'm trying to be a little bit more organized and like structuring my day of like, okay, I have blocked off an hour on Wednesday for me to work on my video, right? And I'm not even going to say that. I was going to make a joke. I'll just say it. Sometimes at work, I work on my videos. Hopefully no one from my work is watching. It's not like it's that big of a deal. I get my work done too, obviously. And I highly doubt that anyone from my job is watching this right now. But yeah, I find time throughout the day to work on it. But I'm actually pretty excited with the progress I'm making right now. I'm in the research phase, but I'm looking into coaches and trends in that right now. That's all I'll say because that's really all I know right now, but that's just what I'm looking into. But yo, we got Mile Marker in here. Let's go. With the lion emoji, smile emoji, saying hiya, Doc. Hiya to you, Mile Marker. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you're doing good. Let's go. Let's go. Ryan Asti asking if I'm located in Tampa. I'm not. I'm actually up in North Georgia, Cleveland, Georgia, which is about an hour or so north of Atlanta, up in the mountains, kind of close to North Carolina. But it's a little snowy. But or it will be a little snowy, but yeah. But that's where I'm at. But the reason I might be able to go to this game is I have connections with the Buccaneers. That's what I'll say. I mean, I don't think it's like some top secret or something I'm not supposed to say, but I have a friend that works with the Buccaneers, and he would probably be able to get me tickets, which would be pretty sick. But I was actually out at a Buccaneers game earlier this year, which was pretty awesome. And also, I feel so bad because I saw this in chat and didn't say it. But yes, Ryan Nasty, I did see the tweet that you tagged me in with the Mike Evans standing ovation. That's so cool, man. I'm so happy for him. That must have been an awesome moment in the stadium. But Wolf prefers to take a long time to get the videos, plus it gives us time to properly set up the server. Hey, no issue with that whatsoever. And shout out Wolf, man. I'd be remiss if I didn't give Wolf a shout out for all the hard work that he's done making the server what it is. Dude, he's doing stuff I have no idea how to do. And the reason it's running as well as it is because of the hard work of Wolf. So everyone, please give a round of applause to Wolf because he has been killing the game. I always appreciate all the help I get. But Alex Kappa Hall of Fame season. Oh man, but where was I? Oh, Lovato. Okay, we'll get to Lovato's question. Then we'll do the conference championship game. Curious question: why do I support the Vikings? Did I grow up in Minnesota? I actually grew up in North Dakota, which is the city I grew up in. Fargo is just on the border between North Dakota and Minnesota, right? North Dakota doesn't have a pro sports team. My family growing up was Vikings fans. Most of my friends growing up were Vikings fans, right? We even had a lake place out in Minnesota. So just naturally, like I gravitated towards all the Minnesota teams, and the Vikings were really good the first year I started watching football, and I've just been hooked ever since. So I've been to my fair share of Vikings games. I was out in Minnesota a lot growing up. I'm not from there technically, but I might as well be. And yes, yay, Bison champs again indeed. How about it? 10 and 15 years. I mean, it's insane, but oh man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I had help from Caden too. Oh yeah, no, Caden has been putting in work since day one, man. It's pretty cool what he's done too. So shout out Caden too. Ryan Asti getting fired up for Fargo. That's awesome. Look at that. I love the wholesomeness that everyone's like interacting with each other, checking in. That's awesome. But all right, conference championship games. Here we go. Chiefs and Ravens, man, we've seen this one a few times now. This is the rematch from last year, right? I've already seen some of the Save Us Lamar Jackson edits on my Twitter timeline, and it's like, oh boy, are we really going to do this again? Are we really going to do this again? All this, oh, Save Us Lamar Jackson from the evil, evil Chiefs. I mean, they're kind of funny, but also, we'll see. We'll see. Here's what I'll say. I think this is a fascinating matchup. We saw these teams play week one. The Chiefs won. I thought that was a pretty fair result. I thought they were the better team. Here's a take that I have about this matchup, and this is actually something I've been thinking about for a long time. I honestly think the biggest X factor in this game, and one of the biggest X factors in the entire playoffs, and I'm not trolling when I say this, but the guy that could determine who goes to the Super Bowl is Rashad Bateman. So hear me out, right? When these two teams played last year in the championship game, there's a lot of things you can draw back to. Oh, Lamar held onto the ball too long, too much big play hunting, should have scrambled a little bit more. Oh, the Ravens only handed the ball off 6 times that entire game. They went away from the run game when it was kind of working, kind of overthinking things a little bit. Oh, the Justin Tucker trying to troll with kicking on the Chiefs side, and Kelsey tosses away his tee, and Kelsey goes crazy, and the Zay Flowers fumble. All that right. But honestly, one of the biggest things that's been burned in my mind from the last time these teams played in the playoffs last year was these Chiefs corners just absolutely took the Ravens receivers to school. They ate their lunch money. They dominated their matchup. And for all the extending and creation that Lamar did, they were just not getting open. They'd get 6 seconds to get open, and they could not, right? And that was a big thing going into that game. Oh, the Ravens receivers are a little bit better, right? Here's what I'll say. Here's the big difference now. The Chiefs' corner room is not as good as it once was. It's still not bad. Obviously, they've got McDuffie, right? He's maybe the best slot corner in the game. But on the outside, they do not have L'Jarius Sneed anymore. And they were right to let Sneed go. He's had his injury issues. They would have had to have paid him a lot of money, right? He's just not been quite as good with the Titans this year, but the truth is the Chiefs do not have a corner on the outside as good as L'Jarius Sneed was last year. This is where Rashad Bateman comes into play. I think if you're the Chiefs, you put McDuffie on Zay Flowers and you feel good about that matchup. But if if Rashad Bateman can win on the outside, I think that could genuinely be the turning point in this game. Again, love is a strong word, but I don't mind the Chiefs. I'm not a Chiefs hater by any means. I think they're an excellent team this year. This Ravens team might be just as good, though. And I think what it might take for them to win this game is like a Rashad Bateman 6-catch, 82-yard, 2-touchdown type of performance. I think if they can get that from him, which he has in him, he has played some good football this year. He's had some good games for them this year. If they can get that version of Rashad Bateman, I think they can win this game. When I did my preseason prediction stream, I had a Chiefs-Lions Super Bowl, and it's so hard to go away from that, right? I just want to stand on business. It's so hard to pick against the Chiefs. It's so hard to pick against them in Arrowhead. But I'm picking the Ravens to finally beat the Chiefs and move on to the Super Bowl. The Ravens have punched their ticket to the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick the Ravens. I think they're peaking at the right time. They've got an unreal defense. Their offense is great. Lamar is playing great. Maybe I get burned because we said this last year, and it's been the same story with them every year, right? Surely this is the year they get this done. This year it's different, right? Finally, they'll get over the hump. I think they can actually do it this year. And if I'm wrong, so be it. So be it. But I think they can actually get it done this year. I got the Ravens going into the Super Bowl. We'll get to the other conference championship, but first, let's check in with chat. Yo, we got Sebastian in here. Let's go. Loving the announcement right there. That's awesome. Good to have you in here, Sebastian. Welcome to the stream. About to talk about the matchup of all time. Time for Bison to be in the FBS. Yeah, I will say it's a tough spot for them to be in, right? They're kind of in no man's land because on one hand, yes, they've beaten up on the FCS a little bit and it can get a little boring and it sucks for the rest of the FCS, right? But on the other hand, if they move up, what exactly is there for them, right? A big thing that I think has kept them in the FCS is like straight up geography. A lot of schools that are close to Fargo, close to NDSU, are in the FCS, right? The South Dakota schools, the Montana schools, those are all FCS schools. They lose the rich history and the rivalry and the tradition, right? No more Dakota marker, no more nickel trophy. Come on, right? Like we gotta keep those things alive, man, right? So I do understand that, but I also get like why they haven't, because like if they go to the FBS, like, oh, that's cool. They're in the Mountain West. So what, they have to go play Hawaii now? Oh, they're in the MAC. Like all those schools are in Ohio and Michigan, I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see. It might be time at some point. We called Fargo Far Gone. Nice. Far Gone. I don't know. I've never heard that before, but Ryan Nasty saying, last time I chose the Vikes to go to the Super Bowl, Keenum was quarterback. I thought we were going to do it that year, man. Oh, that was heartbreaking. Lovato saying, Chiefs must be so proud to be hated. Lions would love to get that. Now everyone loves them because they've been trashed for so long. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tide is turning a little bit. It depends on who you ask, but Laywell saying it feels like so long ago America was rooting for us to beat the Patriots. We've lived long enough to see ourselves become the villains, and I'm here for it. You got to embrace it, right? It's got to be a little bit fun, right? Every time you win, oh, they did it again. They were lucky again, And there's been a lot of bad faith arguments and like discourse and stuff, but the tradition argument. Chiefs need wide receiver one Kadarius Toney to get back into the big games. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Hawaii is in FBS. Is Hawaii still in the Mountain West? Because that's what I'm saying. Like if they go to the Mountain West, it's like Hawaii and Fresno and all that, right? And it's like, man, they got to go out to California, and then like Hawaii would have to like come to the Fargo Dome. That would be pretty funny though. But that would be pretty funny. Laywell loves me but hopes that I'm wrong. I mean, I don't necessarily feel great picking against the Chiefs, but I don't know. I have become Ravens-pilled a little bit. Their defense is just playing so well right now. They've got everything they need. Oh, we'll see. We'll see, though. Lovato wants a Bird Bowl, Ravens-Eagles. That would be a good matchup, too. I picked against the Eagles round one, but hey, you could easily see them getting to the Super Bowl with the defense and the running game and the wide receivers. I mean, they have the recipe there, too, but all right, here we go. Round 3. Surely this time it'll go different, right? Oh, the Vikings have gotten so close. Oh, so close. They've lost, their past 5 or 6 NFC Conference Championship games, right? Both these teams were on a similar trajectory a few years ago, bringing in a new regime, KOC and Kwesi, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Both these teams are starving for their first ever Super Bowl. Both proud organizations with a rich history of being in the NFL. Both kind of looked down upon at times. Both with a history of losing, just screwing things up. Either one of these teams making the Super Bowl would be incredible, considering where they were a few years ago and who they are, right? Both these teams have just shot up this season. It's been glorious. You can talk about the rivalry, but the truth is, this is how team building should go, right? You bring in the coach and the GM together. You draft well. You develop your own talent. You make smart, sensible signings in free agency. Not necessarily blockbuster moves. This is the right way to build a team, right? But there's one thing that the Lions have that I just don't think the Vikings do. And this kills me to say as a Vikings fan. And I'm praying and begging and pleading that they prove me wrong. I truly hope I'm wrong. I hope I regret saying this. But there's one thing that these Dan Campbell Lions have that the Vikings don't, that has been the difference in the 2 games these teams have played. And quite frankly, I think a big reason why the Lions have just had the Vikings number since Dan Campbell got there. And that's grit. The Lions, for better or worse, are just a little bit grittier than us. They're just a little bit tougher in the trenches. They're just a little bit better at running the ball. They're just a little bit better at getting those 3rd and 5s. They're just a little bit better at collapsing the pocket and forcing a mistake. They just scrap and fight for the ball. They bite kneecaps. Yeah, the Lions, man, it's hard to pick against them. For all the injuries and all the stuff that's gone wrong, grit has risen above all. Grit has risen above all. They've got the coaching, they've got the roster, they've got the vibes. And you know what? They've got freaking grit. The Lions, for the first time ever, are in the Super Bowl. How about this for a Super Bowl matchup? Ravens versus Lions. Oh, that would be sick. Pretty Princess saying, let's go Lions. Sebastian saying, don't jinx it. Hey, we'll see. I guarantee that the Lions would beat the Vikings. 110%. Lions did the opposite of the Browns. Yeah. Oh, that's so tough, man. One day, man, the Browns will get their Lions era. But Montgomery's going to be back by the divisional. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like they just... And like, obviously, they're still like the most injured team ever, right? But it's like, oh, we think David Montgomery's out for the year. No, he'll be back by the divisional. Oh, Aiden Hutchinson loses his leg. No, he'll be back by the Super Bowl, right? Like, just like, how do they do this? How do they do this? Yeah, Ben Johnson staying another year, right? They just keep popping up, man. Like, they play like an underdog, like they play like an FCS team playing against Georgia, but also like they're like imagine like a scrappy FCS team playing against Georgia, but also they have Georgia's roster. I mean, it's insane. They are stacked, dude. Like, I can't say enough good things about this Lions team, man. I picked him to win the Super Bowl going into the year. I'm picking him to win the Super Bowl now. It's their year, man. This is not me jinxing it. I promise, Sebastian. Like, I truly, genuinely believe this is the best team in the NFL. All these bad things have happened to him, but it just straight up has not mattered. Hutchinson might be back, which would be a big deal, right? They're so strong against the run. They've got some dogs in the secondary. I mean, Amik Robertson is out here clamping up Jefferson and stuff. And the offense, I mean, it's good literally everywhere. Top 10 quarterback, best offensive line in the NFL, insane running back duo, all-pro slot receiver, top 5 tight end, best offensive coordinator in football, one of the best defensive coordinators in football. I mean, they're just insane. I don't know. I'm picking the Lions. That's my Super Bowl pick. So what we're going to do is we're going to click. I'm going to take a picture of this so I can post it in the Discord and try and be eligible for the special flair that I might get if I have the best score. I'll post it in here later. But yeah, I'm going to go Lions over Ravens. I'm switching it up over the Chiefs. My Super Bowl prediction going into the year was Lions over Chiefs. I'm switching it up to the Ravens. Rashad Bateman is going to get the Ravens to the Super Bowl. That's my big playoff prediction. Rashad Bateman is going to be one of the stories of the playoffs. You heard it here first. If they have a conference championship MVP, it might be Bateman, man. That's my big prediction. But we're going to go with the Lions over the Ravens. That is the doctor's playoff bracket right there. That was fun. Let's go. Let's go. We got Michael in here saying congrats on the natty, by the way. Go Bison, or is it Sco Bison? We do say go Bison. Oh, go Bison. Oh, go North Dakota State Bison. But appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go. And good to have you in here. Mile Marker saying can't jinx it. It's one game at a time. Oh, yeah. There is no jinx, right? Hey, we'll see, man. There's no jinx. I don't have jinxing powers. All right. But appreciate you guys humoring me with that. Let's go be 12 years old and play Fortnite. Dude, I have been playing this game a lot recently. I can't lie. That is like, I don't know, man. Like Fortnite is really epic, dude. You can make all the jokes and like the memes and stuff. Fortnite really is epic. But this is not just Fortnite, of course. This is Fortnite and ball talk. So, as I've said at the beginning of the stream, right? With the help from you guys and Caden, put together some nice little discussion points, talking points, and takes. And we are going to talk about those while I play. Now, depending on what location I drop at, that will bring up a different football-related talking point or prompt or take. As I got to load in here. Ryan Asti wants a quick immaculate grid. I tell you what, we might be able to sneak in a little immaculate grid at the end of the night. How about that? We can do that. I'm always down for some immaculate grid. But, all right, hopefully you guys can see that up. I've got my Xbox up now with the old wallpaper. My webcam looks silly right now, right? It's not in the corner. You'll see why once I'm actually playing the game. You'll want to see my items and stuff. I mean, if you care, I don't know, but that's what like most people do. But yeah, I've got the old Eric Kendricks wallpaper up. I've had this for years and I haven't changed it, even though like none of those players are on the Vikings anymore. But Mile Marker's gonna head out. Catch you later. Appreciate you tuning in as always, and we'll see if the Lions can get it done here. Sebastian saying regarding the accent, the one thing that I know is that Minnesota and North Dakota are actually the exact same thing. Well, it's funny you say that, actually. I would say that eastern North Dakota is very similar to Minnesota. The western part of the state, though, that's very Montana coded, right? Some more mountains out there. It's just a bit more like out in the wild, like just kind of like cowboy country a little bit. But I would say that like the eastern part of North Dakota is very similar to like Minnesota. Xbox gamer tag is cooked. Don't mind it. Oh, hey, so is mine. I've got Lunatic Zebra. I've had that gamer tag for like however long now. I've had that gamer tag for so long. But all right, so how this works, right? There's 12 locations in the game. We've got 12 takes, prompts, whatever you want to call them, that are going to come up. And every time I drop at a location, that's going to bring up something in chat. I'll pin it to chat, and I will pin it. And we can just kind of talk about that while I'm playing. Caden's got them ready, and I will have to go and pin it. I don't know why he can't. That is kind of weird, but oh well. Ryan Assi has an AOT background like a 12-year-old. Hey, nothing wrong with that, right? Lovato loves the Uno. Dude, I love playing Uno on Xbox. I play Uno so much with the fellas. Oh, nothing like a nice little Uno night. Pearchamp saying crazy to think the Lions have made the biggest turnaround with a 13-1 record back in 2021. Any other team turnaround topping the Lions? I don't think so, man. Because the fact is, like, they've had such sustained success, too. I mean, you could look at, like, the 70s Steelers. They were pretty bad before Chuck Noll and, like, the Steel Curtain got there. But I don't know. I don't know. Laywell says, I've never had a Prime on Fortnite. Unfortunately, I was hating my life on Overwatch. I've heard a lot about that game. I've actually never played Overwatch before, but I might have to give it a try at some point. Isn't that the one where it's like, I want to be Tracer. I'm already Tracer. Right? Do you remember that? All right. So, again, 12 locations, 12 takes, hot zone, hot take. We're going to start off by dropping Salty. All right, Caden, here we go. What is the take or discussion point for Salty Springs? That's where I'm going to be dropping first. 90s Cowboys, yeah. Yeah, that would be another. They were terrible before Jimmy Johnson got there. That is a good call, too. I'm sure there's some old teams, but, man, if the Lions can actually get it done and win it all, like, you know, that might be one of the best turnarounds ever. All right, here we go. We're going to pin this right here. So, Caden is saying, here's the question. I'm going to try and land and not die, and I'll also, like, talk about it. A lot of multitasking, you know. I tried this with Mario Kart back during the summer, and it went all right, but yeah, I'm just getting used to it, right? Streamer life. Let's pick up some guns here, and I will take a look at this Joe Burrow question. So, Joe Burrow ends his career in a Dan Marino-esque way, hanging up the cleats without a single Super Bowl ring. What do I think? It's very possible, to be honest, right? I hate to be like a Bengals doomer, but you look at like their cap situation and the age of some of the guys on the roster and like all the hits that they've taken on defense, like, man, honestly, it's kind of a bummer because, like, with hindsight, like last year their defense wasn't good either, but it just goes to show like how quickly windows really can close in the NFL. You look at that 2021 team that made the Super Bowl, or even the 2022 team that almost made the Super Bowl, like their defense was kind of sick, right? But they lost so many guys. They lose DJ Reader and Chidobe Awuzie and Jesse Bates, right? And all of a sudden, all you're left with is Trey Hendrickson and vibes on defense. And, you know, they fire their defensive coordinator, right? Burrow famously said, like, back a few years ago, like, the Super Bowl window is open as long as I'm here. And that's like the crazy, like, I respect his confidence, right? But the truth is, like, I don't know, man. As we've seen this year, it takes a lot more than just like Burrow and Chase and Higgins and Hendrickson. Like, they're not a very complete team. They're going to have to figure some things out. It is very possible. Ryan Astley saying Dan Marino is his best quarterback of all time. That's not a terrible take, honestly. His talent was insane, and he was so good compared to the rest of his era. And he had to carry some of those Miami teams. It's a shame he never got, like, a Stafford vindication type of ring, you know, where, like, you get him on another team with another coach. Oh, my gosh, I'm going to die. I should have taken the shield. Oh, I did not think I was going to survive that. Clearly, I missed some shield. Leywell's pointing out. Locked in talking about Joe Burrow. Got another rocket launcher. Or a grenade launcher. But I should have taken the shield. But Pearchamp saying Joe Burrow gives Aaron Rodgers type of vibes. Except Rodgers won early. While Burrow did not. Oh, yeah. I mean, if Burrow would have, like, got it done in 2021. Then, like, that would have been, yeah, almost, like, identical. But, you know, I say all that. If the Bengals are able to keep Burrow and Chase around and, like, they retool the defense, like, they could very well be back in it in a few years. They at least have a high floor as long as Burrow's there. SMG does go stupid. I don't know how I survived that, to be honest, but we got some shooting over here that we're going to check out. Sebastian saying, I'd say peak Marino might be the GOAT QB. He did kind of decline quickly. That is fair to say, too, but now his 1984 season, you could argue, is, like, the greatest season ever by a quarterback. I'm so cooked. I'm using shotgun long range. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I'm doing this. Oh, let's go. Scar. Yes. All right. I might be silly for shielding up in the open, but we're going to do it. Oh, crap. We got someone dropping on us. No. What was I doing? I should have thrown down the porta bunker. Oh my gosh, we've got another person coming up on us. Dude, this is insane. I can't hit a shot. All right, I got to get the heck out of here. This is honestly insane that I've survived this long. Steelers have had a high floor, not found success for a long while. Yeah. And you could argue, like, maybe that feels a little different because, like, the Steelers' high floor comes from, like, Tomlin and, like, a defense versus, like, the Bengals' high floor is, like, great passing attack, you know. I don't know, but I was the knight in shining armor in your movie. You know what's funny? I actually don't understand that reference. Like, I know the song, right? But it obviously has something to do with the scar, right? Because I've heard, like, my friend Parker, who you might see in these streams sometimes, like, he'll say that every time he gets a scar. Is that like a TikTok thing or something? Because I'm actually not familiar with that. Hey, I like my long range shotguns sometimes, okay? Don't judge. But yeah, I do gotta use the scar. I love how, like, still a lot of people have stuck around for this part. I know we were popping during the playoff portion, but I'm loving how people are just sticking around for this. TJ Watt could be the defensive Dan Marino. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. People are going to look at TJ Watt's Pro Football Reference page in a few years, like 10 years, be like, oh my gosh, he was cracked. I see someone. Oh. Let's go. Come on, where's the other one? Was that it? Also, I'm just burning through these porta bunkers. I'm not on TokTok, but I've seen it on Twitter. Okay, yeah. I'm not really on TikTok like that either, to be honest. Christine has a TikTok that I've been trying to gas up a little bit. I'll like comment on her TikToks and stuff to boost engagement, but honestly, other than that, or like looking at TikToks that get sent to me, like I'm not usually out here scrolling on TikTok. I say all that. I scroll on Twitter plenty. I do scroll on Twitter plenty. All right, we got more fighting over here. Oh, hello. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of killing the game right now. I'm not going to lie. Oh, hi. Come on. Let's go. Dude, maybe I should forget football. I should just be an epic gamer, dude. What? So what game mode is this? I'm Fortnite illiterate. This is Battle Royale. This is like the standard, like just try and be the last man standing. If I die, it's over and I have to start over. So I'm not going to lie. I'm like honestly not very good at this game. I'm kind of shocked that I'm doing this right now. I might be in a pretty trash lobby, but no, I'm most certainly not normally this good. I think I'm getting juiced by like bots and bad players. Anyone watching this is like, yo, Ninja 2? Oh, man. We got more shooting over here. But, yeah, they brought back the original map as, like, well, I guess it's a permanent game mode now, but just so much nostalgia, man. Played this game a lot in high school. See, here we go. Now I can't hit a shot. Okay, I hit one. He's shooting back at me. Where is this fighting at? But you're playing Fortnite too right now? Let's go. No, buddy. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible Burrow goes the entire career without a ring, right? I mean, like, this is like a harsh way to look at it, but it's not like everyone is entitled to one, you know? You always assume that like, oh, every great quarterback is going to get one at least at some point, right? But like, you know, there's the Dan Marinos of the world, right? Or like Peyton Manning took a long time to get his ring, and like Drew Brees took a while to get a ring and stuff, right? So like these things happen over time. Not everyone's Brady and can win 7, or Mahomes and win like 3 in your first like 7 years and stuff like that. But and yes, 23, that is the number of people remaining. I can't seem to find any heals. And also I got to get to the storm here because that's closing in. Oh crap. Hello. Gah! I hit him for a little bit, but... Oh, he's got a sniper! No! Come on! Alright. That's the end of the first game. But that was a good one right there. Joe Burrow ends his career in a Dan Marino-esque way. I'm going to unpin that message, but that's the gist of it, right? I'm playing, I'm talking, I'm trying to, like, multitask and, like, you know, talk about the prompt, but... There's different locations you drop to, and so that's where the phrase, like, where are we dropping boys comes from. So for every location that I drop to, that'll bring up a new discussion point. But that was a good one. I like the Joe Burrow one. So Kaden says, if I play trash next time we're on after I'm seeing this, I'm calling you Sam Darnold. Oh, no. The lights are too bright. See, right now, this is Sam Darnold against the Bears. Oh, man. No, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go back and watch that later and be like, oh, that was so nice. But that was a good one. It might take a while to find this next match, but let's see what else. Sebastian knows about, I know about Battle Royale stuff, so this isn't too far out. Fortnite has changed a lot, too. There's so many different game modes besides Battle Royale now, but Pressure builds Diamonds Doc. I'm putting on for the stream. Let's go. Let's go. Who's better, TJ Watt or JJ Watt? That's a great question from Parachamp. I'm still going to lean JJ. I think he played a slightly more difficult position. I mean, being that productive as a pass rusher while being on the interior is just insane, right? And he was so good against the run. And this is not a slight on TJ, who's fantastic coming off the edge. Great in coverage, right? You can drop him back. The fact that TJ gets like an interception or 2 every year is not an accident. He's the kind of guy that, like, if you want to be a little sneaky in disguise, like, yeah, you can drop him back in coverage, and he might pick you off every once in a while, but I don't know. I think JJ, like, you could drop him into any defense, any era, and he would just be him. And injuries kind of cut his prime short a little bit, but JJ Watt, maybe not quite Aaron Donald, but honestly, he's probably the second best defender I've seen in my life besides Aaron Donald. But Doc finished just now the foreshadowing of how Joe Burrow's career will go. No number one finishes. Oh, brutal. All right, let's go Tomato Town. What is the prompt for Tomato Town? I'm curious. Maybe we'll get something Tommy DeVito related. Tomato Town, Tommy DeVito. Who's Tommy DeVito going to play for next? The XFL. Tomato Town usually doesn't have great loot, but we'll go here. It's just me. There's not a squad, so there's not a bunch of people fighting for loot or anything. But Wolf, sorry, left. The Cavs game got tight. Couldn't contain himself. Hey, no issue whatsoever, right? People are always welcome to pop in and back out. How is the Cavs game going? I saw earlier saying that they beat OKC yesterday. It was cinema, right? Hey, Cavs, they've been pretty good this year. I won't claim to be like an NBA expert by any means, but... Ooh, superlative one, and there's a text limit, so just pin my next comment. Okay. So this must be like draft class superlatives, right? Dark Elixir, welcome to the stream, Dark Elixir, asking who do I got winning it all? I'm sticking with the Lions. They were my preseason Super Bowl pick. I know they're banged up, and maybe there's some concerns about their defense, but also like... They seem to have special healing powers, right? David Montgomery's coming back soon. If they make it that far, Aiden Hutchinson would be back for the Super Bowl. They're just so well coached. Their offense is so sick. I would say the Lions. I've got Lions over Ravens. That's the pick that I made when filling out my bracket today. But good question. Greasy Grove, got to be Jamarcus Russell. Oh, man. But... let's see what this superlative thing is. I'm curious. Wait, so am I like giving out a few superlatives? Like, did you make a few superlatives, or do I come up with the superlatives? Or I guess text limit. I don't know. I'm a little confused, but we'll figure it out. I don't know that anyone else went here, to be honest. But Wolf is an NBA expert, but not NFL smart. Hey, to each their own, right? We've all got our strengths and weaknesses. I usually just like, when I'm in an NBA conversation, I'm usually just like, tell me what opinion to have. The Cavs are good, right? Okay, here we go. Let's pin this one. We got the 2024 draft class superlatives. Message is pinned, right? So this is what we're going to be discussing. I got to get to the circle. Most likely to boom, bust. Oh, I got to pull it back up. It disappeared. Most likely to boom, bust, break or major record, have a Son Reddick moment, become a crypto bro, and next Juwan Jennings. Interesting. Ooh, let's go. We got a friend request from Wolf. Let's go. Heck yeah. All right. Hassan Reddick moment, like go to Japan and like crash out. Okay. So most likely to boom. I might say Drake May, as in the fact that, like, some of the quarterbacks I think have already boomed, right? Like, I would say Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, those have already boomed. Like, you feel good, like, that you got exactly what you drafted them for, right? Both those teams are in the playoffs. Both those guys have had good seasons. Like, if that's just how their career played out, like, the guys that they are right now, like, that's who they are for their career, those teams you got to feel pretty good about that. Hello. Why am I using the pistol? This guy doesn't see me or just doesn't care. That's definitely a bot. But I might say Drake May just because I feel like there's still so much room for him to grow. And he was in such a bad situation. We'll see how this Patriots head coaching search goes, right? But man, if they could get like a good play caller with him and like beef up the line a little bit, I don't know. I was so impressed with Drake May this year, to be honest with you. I could see a world where like he ends up as the best quarterback of this class. And that's saying nothing against the other guys, but May looks legit, man. Just the arm talent, the way he moves, the way he can manage the pocket, even on a bad team. So I'll say May for most likely to boom, most likely to bust. Oh, man. That's a good one. Like, who has been a big bust so far, honestly? I'm trying to think of, like, rookies, especially, like, notable ones in the first round that have not exactly been up to snuff. I mean, you could say Caleb maybe fits that profile, but I still think Caleb can get there. Maybe not, like, Mahomes, you know? Maybe Caleb has a Kyler Murray-type career, and maybe you consider that a buster at disappointment, but that's just such a crazy standard. I don't know. Like, all the receivers have been good. Adunze's been all right. But again, I think he'll probably get there. It's been such an insane class. Marv is an interesting one, honestly. Marv is an interesting one. I don't hate that pair champ. And again, like, maybe some of it is just the usage. But if you compare it to the expectations, right? Like, if Marv is like the 4th or 5th best wide receiver of the class, which is very possible, then maybe you consider him a bust because he was seen as like the greatest wide receiver prospect since Calvin Johnson. I don't hate that. I'll go Marv. It's like it feels a little harsh, but like we'll go with it. Break a major record. Man, I'm trying to think like someone gets the receiving yards record, like maybe Brian Thomas Jr. Dude, you know, I mean, you got Game Solved in here, by the way. Perfect timing, right? I saw you pop in. Good to have you in here. Welcome back, Game Solved. We talked about this like maybe a month ago. I am starting to become on the train of, actually, I think Brian Thomas might actually be the best wide receiver of the class. He is ridiculous, dude. Oh, crap. What's up, dude? Ah. Yeah, this is not a good lobby. But, like, I don't know. Could you see, like, Brian Thomas Jr. at some point getting, like, a 300-yard receiving game or something like that? I don't know. I am, like, stupidly high on him. I'm so happy he's on my dynasty team, dude. I love me some Brian Thomas Jr. But, become a crypto bro. I feel like I don't know the rookie class like that. I could see like JJ McCarthy being a crypto bro. He kind of gives those vibes a little bit. I'll say JJ McCarthy for that. Hassan Reddick moment, like a holdout. Who's kind of crazy? See, that's tough. You don't have to be crazy to have a holdout, but like just like a bad contract situation that ages poorly. I might have to come back to that one. Next, Juwan Jennings. Oh, definitely Caleb, right? He's the influencer. But that was a good one. I like the superlatives. I'll unpin that now so I can see the rest of chat here. But I saw some skibbity talk. No, I'm kicking myself for not getting the skibbity toilet skin. I get a little too carried away with the ironic love of brain rot sometimes. Oh, how else would Doc get killed? Hey, yo. Oh, snap. We got someone. Well, let's prove myself right here. If I can find him. What? No, that's fair. That's kind of funny. I do love stat padding against bots. Also, I have to go to the circle at some point, but I saw footsteps. Caleb Williams might pass for 4,000 yards at some point. That's your record breaker. Yeah, never been done by a Bears quarterback. That's actually unironically a good answer. It's just not been done. Oh, I see someone. There's no way I can hit him. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm missing people in chat. There's just a lot going on, but I'll try and get to everything. Scotty Barnes. We're seeing some Scotty Barnes talk. Yeah, he's turned out pretty good, right? This is what I'm saying with, like, what's my opinion? Like, Scotty Barnes is good, right? I think he's good. I've heard good things about him. Oh, man. Laywell loves Scotty. Got his jersey. Went to a game a couple seasons ago and got Fred Van Vliet to sign his jersey. The barber. Let's go. That's awesome. Bucky Irving could be a record breaker. I don't hate that. Little Bucky Irving 300-yard rushing game. Bucky Irving. See, what's tough, though, is that, like, I feel like he and Rachaad White are going to split carries a lot. It'd be hard for him to get, like, any season-long records, you know? But Skibbity Toilet Bundle to clickbait and increase revenue. Oh, crap. Oh, what's up, dude? This is scary. I'm going to get killed. Ah! No! Oh, dang it. All right, let's chill. Dang it. Wichita State. He did go to Wichita State. That's right. Scotty is Drew Holiday and LeBron's body. I love it. See, is there anything else I missed? Oh, yeah, Game Solved asking a question. Which team is getting Brian Flores? Do I think he'll be a good head coach? I honestly think it's inevitable. Someone's going to get him at some point. I don't know who it's going to be, though. I've seen, like, some Patriots. Oh, he got a gold scar. It's Justin Jefferson. I got killed by Justin Jefferson. Wait. I, I didn't even notice that. I got killed by Justin Jefferson. I mean, it's not actually him, but like, are you kidding me? No way. Justin Jefferson has a gold scar. Oh my gosh. That's insane. But for Brian Flores, I could see him going back to the Patriots. They might want to go the offensive route because, you know, they tried a defensive guy with Mayo and they might just want to try something new. I think he'd be an all right head coach. I will say, and like, he most certainly unfairly got fired from the Dolphins, right? Like, they asked him to tank. He didn't want to. And there was like the whole discrimination aspect of it all, right? Like, he kind of got screwed, right? It is kind of crazy that they let him go because he was doing a pretty good job. But I do wonder, like, and this isn't even a shot at Flores. I do wonder if, like, maybe he's just like a defensive coordinator. And again, maybe easy for me to say as a Vikings fan, but like, you know, nothing wrong with just locking in on defense and like working with your defensive guys, and that's what you do. You don't have to worry about building a good relationship with your quarterback. You don't have to worry about all these extra media obligations and stuff like that, right? Like, there was all the reports that like he was too harsh on Tua and stuff. And like, you ask anyone on the Vikings, they love the guy, right? That's because he gets to stick in his element. So I think he'd be all right, though. I mean, you'd certainly get a heck of a defensive scheme if you brought him in, and you know, maybe he's learned from his past and like he's ready to be like better at the other aspects of being a coach. But I think he will get hired. He's just been too good with the Vikings not to. So I've accepted at this point. It would suck if we lost him, but I think it's going to happen. Lovato asking, is Ben Johnson joining the Bears? I'm standing by my take. I think he's going to stay. I honestly think I would be surprised if he went somewhere. Unless, like, maybe the Lions win the Super Bowl and then he leaves. But I honestly think if the Lions don't win the Super Bowl, he stays. Again, he seems like he just wants to be an offensive coordinator. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to be mean to get this guy. No way he gets away. Oh, crap. We got a pickaxe fight. Oh, I did all the hard work for you. Okay, I gotta chill. I've only got 5 shells, and I've got people shooting at me. This is a hot zone. I'll get to the Stafford thing in a sec. I kind of got to fight for my life here first, but I did see it was at least pertaining to Matthew Stafford, which I'm always down to have a Matthew Stafford conversation. You know me. But I got to get to safety here first. Don't jinx. Fair enough. No jinx. No jinx. Oh, the jinx. But, all right, we got Slurp. Settle down here a little bit. We got a semi-auto, too. We're going to... Guess it doesn't really matter. We'll take the Slurp, and then we'll take the shield. But do not bring Flores to Duval. Nah, I think Jaguars getting Liam Cohn would be like a nice little consolation. Yeah, no insulting our king, Trevor. Absolutely not. All right. So the question is, or the prompt is, Matthew Stafford will win at least one more Super Bowl, cementing himself as one of the best QBs in NFL history. I don't know, man. That's tough. I mean, as much as I love Stafford, and I still think he's got great football in him, and I think he came in at 6 when I did my QB ranking quiz last week. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, he would probably have to get it done this year if they were going to win another Super Bowl, right? Like, it just gets harder every year. Guys get older. And Stafford, you feel like you're kind of on borrowed time with him at this point. And he has just been, like, a little bit more inconsistent this year, right? Like, I think that's fair to say. And so you worry, like, you know, if they lose at all this year in the playoffs, like, that might be curtains. Not necessarily that his career is over, but, like, the window might close. Granted, we've said that about the Rams for however many years now. I will say, if they did get it done and he got a second ring, though, you got to start having some uncomfortable conversations about how high you rank Matthew Stafford all time. I would have him up there, to be honest. Not top 10, maybe not even top 15. But he is up there for me, dude. I mean, I saw him play for so many years in Detroit, and just like how good he was on some bad Lions teams. And yeah, you can say that he had Calvin, but also there was like 5 or 6 years in Detroit where he did not have Calvin. And I would argue those were some of the best years of his career. Like, the Lions made the playoffs first season without Calvin. Stafford was balling that year. And I think I also have a soft spot for the Rams and Stafford because, like, They were like that Stafford Rams team was the first ever preseason Super Bowl pick that I got right. I picked them to win the Super Bowl going into that season, and then they actually won it. And so I think I've always had a soft spot for them because of that too. Just like, oh, they vindicated me, you know. But oh, my shield is already full. What I'm doing? What am I doing? But like I had a tweet about this, and this is honestly maybe a crazy hot take of mine. I had a tweet about this back in like October. The FanDuel Twitter account tweeted out like some like engagement bait, like who's the better number 9 all time, right? And it was Drew Brees and Matthew Stafford. And that tweet was just getting dunked on. Like, how could you even say that? Of course it's Brees, right? I don't know. I don't think that's a ridiculous debate at all. Dare I say I might take Stafford all time over Brees. I know that's crazy. I think he's the better player, and I think they've had similarly impressive careers. And I just think, I don't know, man, if Stafford got to spend his entire career, or at least his entire prime, with Sean McVay, if he had 16 years with McVay, I don't know, he might have all the passing records instead. But we could play the hypothetical game. That's not to slander Brees or anything. Like, Brees is one of the best to ever do it, too. But I have some crazy Stafford takes in the chamber. That's what I'll say. But Ryan Astley saying, unfortunately, Liam Cohen isn't going anywhere. That would be crazy if y'all could bring him back. I mean, that would speak volumes to the Bucs, right? Like, if Todd Bowles could be like, hey, Liam, come back. Let's run it back. I think it's pretty likely he takes a job, unless, like, Tampa was to promote him to head coach. But I don't think they would do that. But, oh, man. Big-time Fortnite players make big-time plays. Oh, yeah. You know me. Asking if I've won a game yet? No. Hey, to be fair, I've only played a few, but yeah, I have not won yet. Oh, let's get a snipe here. That's got to be a bot, right? I'll hit him eventually. It's okay. I'll hit him eventually. Oh! Let's go. It only took me like 4 shots. Oh, and I just took full damage. Nice. But we got him eventually. Oh, I see someone running. Next victim. Come on. Not letting me get off until I reach top 10. Well, I tell you what, we've got a different prompt hot take discussion point for every location that I drop. So we're going to be here talking ball and playing Fortnite for a while. But Parker's in here. Let's go. We were actually just talking about you not that long ago, which is quite the way to greet you. I don't even remember what we were talking about. I don't remember what it was. It was a good thing, obviously, but what was it? I don't remember, but oh man. But welcome to the stream, Parker. Good to have you in here. Yeah, I did get a nice little 6-shot sniper kill right there. Lovato's loving it right there. Ryan Nasty saying, why does Tampa get no credit? The front office has built this team full of unselfish players, been to the playoffs now 5 times in a row, and survived a cap hell scare, and continue to have great drafts. No, I think like you gotta give Jason Light his flowers. He's honestly one of the best GMs in the entire NFL. You look at Tampa's draft history under him, they've been kind of going crazy in the draft, to be honest. And like he killed it again this year. Oh. I'll get you eventually. Oopsies. I'm almost out of bullets in this sniper. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. I'm out of ammo. Let's push him. I don't know the Scar meme. I actually don't. I just thought Parker. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. No, I just thought you were vibing with John Bellion, to be honest. Like, it's a good song, right? I was the knight in shining armor in your movie. There is someone that I can hear shoot at me now. Ryan Nasty, game solved, has the Bucks making the NFC Championship game. I could see it, honestly, right? If they get past the big bad Minnesota Vikings, who they're gonna. Oh crap! I'm gonna get sniped at. See, that guy can actually probably aim. I still gotta get to the circle too, but game solves feel like no one's picking them over the Eagles, even though they beat them a few months ago. They whooped on the Eagles. That was the thing. They whooped on the Eagles. the Bucks, if this was like college football, right, and you looked at their resume, the Bucks honestly kind of have a crazy resume. Wins against the Lions and the Eagles. And they beat the Lions before Hutch even went down. Hutchinson had 5.5 sacks against them, and they still won, you know? Oh, yeah, I saw your bracket. You got him in the Super Bowl. I will say, like, they are honestly a dark horse. Like, honest to goodness, man. That offense is good. If the defense can lock in a little bit, they are going to be a problem. Oh, hi. I don't know why I'm using my SMG from that range, but what is that dude even doing? Is he just trolling? No, he can't possibly beat me doing that. Okay. Thank goodness we have more sniper bullets because I went through a lot of them. Let's shield up here real quick. But Laywell, I'd love to see the Bucks make a ton of noise in the playoffs. Love Baker and Evans, but not confident in that happening. If they could get past the Commanders, things get interesting. I mean, obviously, like, if you win a game, you know, but, like, oh, yeah. Beat the Commanders, Lions, Eagles, and Chargers. Yeah, y'all whooped on the Chargers, too. That one, I won't lie, that one actually kind of surprised me, that y'all blew them out in L.A. Yeah. Friend said here, Tampa's perfectly capable of winning a game against every team and can also lose to any team. Oh, yeah. They're kind of the, pun intended, the wild card of the playoffs here, even though they won their division. But all right, let's see. What do we got up here? Let's lock in. Come on. Come on, Doc. You can do this. Lots of shooting over here. Yeah. Killed the Commanders week 1 too. Yeah. That game was a slaughter. That game was not as close as the final score would indicate. That was like watching that game week 1, I was like, "Oh, the Bucks are still kind of here." Like Baker kind of went off, you know. And that was pre-Bucky Irving even. He had like only a few carries in that game. Game solved asking without thinking which NBA team is ending as champs. I got talked into the Celtics. OKC, I could see. Also, someone asked me earlier if I had an NBA team. I think it was Sebastian. Timberwolves, kind of. I mean, I'm kind of a casual when it comes to it, but I watched them in the playoffs last year. Oh. Yes. 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 Let's go. The semi-auto goes crazy. Oh, my gosh. Come on. Well, we can keep reloading and shooting. Eventually I'll hit him. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sniper going off. Yeah, that was week 2 that the Bucks beat the Lions. That was crazy. Voice is getting a little hoarse here. Oh, we got someone coming. Hi. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Still no scar? That's chill. We'll take the blue AR. Alright. This is where we got to be really careful. That slurp juice is big because I need both health and shield. With wide receiver 3s. No Evans, Godwin, or McMillan. Dude, McMillan has really come along. That touchdown that he and Baker had last week was so sick. Laywell says, I'm like Jamar chasing the Chiefs the way I hate the Boston Celtics. Yeah. A lot of people not liking the Celtics, it seems like, based off what I see on Twitter and whatnot. I gotta reload quick before this dude runs up on me. I'm scared. Ah! Oh my gosh. No, not the gingerbread man. Gah! 4th. Dang it. Dude, I've actually been doing fairly well in these games, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little surprised by how well this is going. But all right, we'll unpin that. That was a good one, though. The Matthew Stafford one. Now, these games are taking a lot longer than I thought they would, because normally I die a lot quicker. Sigma. Man. Maybe we'll get a win tonight. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, Gabe called me. That is a Bucks fan right there, talking about the Bucks. Lovato says Celtics are probably favorites. They're probably playing at 60% of the regular season to 100 in playoffs. Oh, yeah, that seems to be the case in the NBA a lot of times, right? You think about like those Warriors teams with Curry and even like the LeBron Cavs and stuff. Oh, yeah. Not bad. Top four is pretty good. We'll take it. I got a few sniper kills. Took me maybe 30 or 40 shots, but can't watch Jason Tatum doing another cringe celebration. We did it. We did it! He's trying to be KG so bad. We did it. We did it. It was kind of funny, though. All right. Did I go greasy already? I did. Yeah. We'll do Flush Factory. What is the prompt for Flush Factory? Let's see if there's anything else I missed in chat here. Look at that, 17 people watching me play a video game while talking about football. What they gonna say now? Oh, man. Jason Tatum. He's good, though, you got to admit. I mean, yeah, he might be a little cringe, but he's good. All right. Seeding style change. With the first ever 14-win wildcard team, is it time to take a look at revamping how the NFL does their seeding like the NBA? I'm going to say no, to be honest. I get the argument, right? Like, yeah, it sucks that, like, a 14-win team is not getting a home playoff game. But, like, my argument is, like, honestly, nah. Just, like, win your division, right? You know what? The Vikings had 2 shots to beat the Lions. They only needed to win one of those games to win the division. And they didn't. Like, they came into, like, the biggest regular season game ever. We had a chance. We controlled our own destiny, and we lost. Like, yes, it stinks, and yes, we're probably not, like, the 5th best team in the NFC. But I like that aspect of seeding, right? It makes, like, divisional rivalries that much more important. It means that much more when you have to beat your rivals, you know, and you have to, like, do well in your division to, like, get a good seed, right? Like, all these rivalries have way more juice because of that. So I'm in favor of keeping things the way they are. I think it's fine the way it is. Sometimes it's wacky and imperfect, but also if you're really that good, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. So that's my take. I understand the argument against it, but... Okay, you just, like, didn't even see me. Okay. These are definitely bots, but it's chill. But yeah, that is a good prompt. Laywell is also green. It shouldn't change. Win your division and host a playoff game. I'm with you, right? You know what? The Bucks beat their rivals, right? They won their important games. Yeah, they deserve to host a playoff game more than we do. We came up short against the Lions twice. We had our shot. We just didn't get it done, you know. We have to go on the road. If we're really that cracked of a 14-win team, surely we can go on the road and beat the 4 seed, you know, right? Well, I guess not on the road anymore, but you know what I mean. But yeah, looks like we're all on the same page with that one. That was a good one, though. That has been a very trending topic recently. All right, we're going to go push somewhere. We're going to go push Fatal. But Sebastian's saying 82-game schedule makes it advantageous to not go out all the time. Oh, yeah, right. That's an interesting discussion right there. Should the NBA maybe shorten up their regular season a little bit, right? I mean, especially with, like, how long the playoffs are when you have 7-game series throughout and you do, like, the math, like, by far, like, the NBA, like, I'm trying to remember the math on it. There's, like, some math thing, like percentage of games or something like that. I'm not able to articulate it right now, but pretty much, like, math would suggest that, like, the NBA season might be a little bit too long. But Lovato saying the division system in the NFL works perfectly. NBA should try something similar. Make divisions matter. Oh, yeah, I think that's a good argument, right? Like, honestly, I could not tell you the teams in the Timberwolves division. I really couldn't. There's just not a lot of juice to it. Like, I think, like, the Thunder and the Nuggets are in it, but we're not like, yo, like, we're playing the Nuggets today. This means so much, you know, like... I mean, it means a lot because the Nuggets are good, but it's not like, yo, Timberwolves Nuggets, just what a classic, you know? Oh, Nuggets Thunder, like these two teams go way back, you know? Yeah, it would be nice if there was, but that's what football has going for it, definitely. I'm going to check out this fighting over here, which stopped, which is a little scary, but what can you do? Also, if you play every team 2 times, home and away, it's better than how it is today. Oh, yeah. Wait, 2 times home and away. So, like, 4 times total? I don't think that's, I don't know. I'm probably tripping, but. Oh, yeah. Imperfections are awesome, right? I love the weird, chaotic, and stubborn sport that football is, you know? There's beauty in the stubbornness of football. Absolutely. Sometimes it's good to embrace the weird. Only having one guaranteed spot in the playoffs in every division. Oh, shooting. Hello. Bang. Is that another semi-auto? Oh, it's a bolt action. It's over. I actually have to aim well. I'm cooked. I'm going to take the SMG over the pump, honestly. I don't really like the pump, to be honest. It's probably just because I'm trash at aiming, but I don't really love the pump. It is perfect. Pure joy realizing how trash the NBA is. The NBA's got some problems. I will say, to each their own. Like, I could see like how you could enjoy a lot of aspects of the NBA, and I know a few hoop heads in my life, right? But I will always be Mr. NFL, dude. I just think it's the perfect league. The way that it's set up, the parity, just the tradition, and how much rivalries matter, and how much each game matters, right? There's only one game a week. It's just such a cultural experience. Oh, it is. And on top of me just like loving the sport of football, like I really think, in my maybe slightly biased opinion, the NFL is like the best setup league out of any of the sports leagues. The fact that you can be the Lions and go from being the worst team in the league for like a decade to like being a superpower, right? Like, and you can control your own destiny. Like, if you draft well, if you're good at identifying talent, that is rewarded, you know? The Chiefs took them a long time to get over the hump, right? They just kept coming up short. They're like a quote unquote small market, right? But they have the biggest star in the sport now because they found him and they drafted him, you know? That's awesome. Is there no one at Greasy? Man. All right. Let's go find somewhere to push. I need to get into some action here. I was also wondering, and I'll ask this to you guys, right? Oh, snap. There's someone here. I gotta get up on this roof. But if I win, I'm like, I gotta do something if I win. I don't know what that something is necessarily, right? But if I win, I gotta do something. I will do that Immaculate Grid, though. Don't let me forget that, Ryan Nasty. I did say I'd do an Immaculate Grid before we got off here. So I will make sure to do that. Okay, I saw footsteps. There they are. Where are you? There you are. Oh, the aim. Oh, I'm in the tree. I'm in the tree. Hi. Surely I won't choke this. No way! No way! We both killed each other at the same time. Dang it. All right. All right. Make some great dance. Maybe I'll gritty. If I win, I'll gritty in real life. How about that? Right foot creep. Oh, Pearchamp with a good question about rivalries. Asking, what is my favorite rivalry in the NFL throughout the years? I would say the best rivalry was the 49ers Seahawks in the 2010s. Oh, that's up there, right? That's got to be up there. I would say 2010s Seahawks 49ers. I would say late 2000s, early 2010s Steelers Ravens were pretty awesome. Brady's Patriots versus Manning's Colts were pretty awesome. I would say right now Chiefs Bills is pretty good. Historically, you could say, like, you know, Bears, Packers, that's a good one. Vikings, Packers, that's a good one. Like Browns, Steelers, that's a good classic rivalry. But it is interesting. Like, there's, like, phases of rivalries, right? Like, they all come and go in stages depending on, like, when teams are good at the same time. Like, right now, again, like, I would argue, in this present moment, the Vikings' biggest rival is the Lions. Like, the Vikings-Lions rivalry is the one that has the most juice right now. Obviously, we still have rivalries with the Bears and Packers, but we've been, like, on the same trajectory competing with the Lions. You know, we've been on a similar enough level. Obviously, the Lions are a little bit better than us last year, but for the most part, right, you know. That's what I would say. Caden's maybe a little disappointed, either in the gritty or how I died. Game over. Game solved is sad. I won't let you guys down this time because we're going to Dusty Depot. All right, Dusty Depot. What is the discussion for Dusty Depot? A Dusty Depot discussion. Going crazy. Let's drop to Dusty Depot. Auto saying makes sense. In my case, I'll probably start paying more attention to the NBA with Super Bowl. I feel like that's what a lot of people do, right? Football's over, find another sport to pick up. For me, that's kind of baseball a little bit. Depends on how good the Twins are. But, you know, we weren't bad last year. We just kind of choked. Dude, that was so frustrating. But the biggest rivalry right now is Jack and Shane Waldron. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. That one's got some heat to it. Oh, man. All right, we got hecka people coming here. Hecka. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever said that before, but all right. Let's go. At least we got one kill. At least we didn't die before the prompt came in. That would have been embarrassing, but all right, let's try and pin this message here. All right. So, Dusty Depot. Dusty player Trevor Lawrence goes the rest of his career without a single playoff win. Oh, I hope not. I sure hope not, right? I'm going to say no. There's just no way. I'm still pretty high on him. Again, I won't be pounding the table for him to be like top 10 or anything. No. Dude, he's like one hit. He's like one hit. Got him. That was so bad, but I got him. Nah. Hey, again, just get us a new coach. Get Liam Cohen to the Jags, right? Brian Thomas Jr. is going to go crazy, right? Just beef up the line a little bit. I swear, eventually it's going to happen, and Trevor and the Jaguars are going to break out and take their leap. Dude, it's so frustrating because, like, some of the guys that I get excited about are good. Like, Brian Thomas Jr. was good this year. Trayvon Walker was good this year, right? Trevor gets hurt. He was all right. But, like, there are some holes on the roster. But, no. There's, like, his whole career without another playoff win. Nah. I'm gonna go no. I'm going to say they'll get one eventually. I don't know if they'll like win the Super Bowl. It's tough to forecast that far out in advance, right? But oh yeah. We still stand with Trevor and the Jags. I'll say that for sure. I honestly want to get like some Jaguars merch at some point. Back when they were wearing their throwbacks, this was funny. It was Doug Peterson who was rocking this, but he was rocking one of those vintage pullovers. I was like, dude, that is the sickest thing I've seen in my life. I need to get one of those. I might buy one of those at some point, but oh yeah. Hey, maybe he will stay in Tampa. Either way, he's got to be in Florida, right? If he doesn't stay, how about the Jags? Does that seem fair? What? By the way, how much can you tell how much health every player has left on here? Those numbers that you see, that's like how much damage you do to them. So you can just like kind of guess like, oh, I've seen like 14 a bunch, like 10 times. Like, I sure hope he's low on health at this point. But yeah, you kind of have to guess a little bit. Lovato asking, are the Twins good? I'm not into baseball yet. Not really, to be honest. They're very frustrating in that they seem like at least their front office is really well run. And the thing about baseball, right, it's not like the NFL where there's a hard salary cap, right? There's payroll. And so, like, how much money you make and how much money your owners have, like, that's how much money you can use. So, like, if you've got owners that want to shell out some cash, they can, and they will. If you look at, like, the Dodgers, they're like an all-star team because their owners are willing to pony up. And, like, every owner is rich, right? Like, if you're owning a sports team, you've got just an obscene amount of money, right? But the Twins have not always been keen with spending. Like, they do a good job of, like, finding prospects and developing young players, but we should have made the playoffs last year. Like, right around my birthday, which was in mid-August, like, the Twins were in a playoff spot, and then they choked. Why every Minnesota team is frustrating and why I support them. Oh, yeah, dude, it is frustrating. I've never seen a Minnesota team win a title in my lifetime. They have the longest drought of any North American sports market with like all the teams in them, right? Last time they won a title was 1991, which was the Twins. No Vikings titles, no Timberwolves titles, no Wild titles, and no Twins titles in my lifetime. It has been since 1991 since a Twins team has won, or since a Minnesota team has won. Ah. Okay, you're almost dead. Right? There we go. Good, because I need ammo. But my Nasty's got to drive home. If the stream is still up in 30 minutes, he'll be back then. Hey, no worries. Hope you have a safe drive home. We'll see, honestly. I mean, we're playing these games for a while. We've got a lot of takes to get through, but Trevor Lawrence better pray he has a Baker Mayfield type career. I'm rooting for it, right? Like, late resurgence, right? Finally lives up to the hype. I believe, man. I truly believe. I still think there's a really good quarterback in there. It hasn't been perfect, though. So we got footsteps near us. He one-shotted me. Dang. All right. Well, that one was a little bit quicker, I guess. I don't even know how many I have left. We'll see if we get through all 10 today. We might. I mean, it's only 10:04. It's not like it's obscenely late or anything. But, yeah, we've been vibing. I'm liking this, though. This has been fun. Just hanging out, talking ball. Laywell says he's been lucky enough to see the Chiefs win 3 times, KU Hoops win twice, the Royals win 1, and his beloved Raptors win 1. That's crazy. That is a blessed life right there. That is kind of underrated. Like, Kansas sports has been going crazy recently. Yeah, that Royals World Series was pretty electric, I can't lie. That was pretty awesome. At least we have an elite special teams unit. Game Solve saying all the Jags need is a new head coach, new GM, owner, wide receivers, offensive linemen, running back, corners, safety, defensive end, and defensive tackle. It's not Trevor's fault. It's not. Hashtag not his fault. Not his fault. Lovato asking if I could try weekly short videos talking about the games that happened. You know, I have always thought about like getting into shorts a little bit. That might be a good thing to launch it for, right? Talking about the games that happened over shorts. I've always got some takes that I want to give over shorts. That's not a bad idea. Now, I am trying to like gosh, this is going to sound like so like corporate CEO coded, but like I'm trying to diversify my content a little bit more, but that might be a good idea. I always appreciate these feedback and suggestions too, right? That's how we make this better. That's how we keep building this, but I like that. A little recap. Real ones remember. I'm talking about like, there's like maybe 2 people in here that don't understand this. The roast of the week. The roast of the week. Oh, you're talking 10 to 15 minute videos. But, well, I will say that I will be completely honest with you. I think in my current state right now, also working a full-time job, like I'll be honest, like I work a full-time job. If I could do Dr. Pigskin full-time right now, I would, but like it doesn't make enough money for me to pay the bills yet, right? And it's just that I think that might be hard for me to do like a 10 to 15 minute video each week. I mean, maybe I won't have to like put too much effort into it, but that's why I like doing these streams, right? They're definitely less structured and scripted, but it still gives me a chance to like put something out each week, interact with you guys a little bit, and still like, you know, talk about like what happened. And then like the videos, like those are super deep dives on like more niche things, right? Like, okay, what's something that I can talk about for like 25 to 30 minutes? Also, we're at Wailing Woods, which we'll see how long I'm at Wailing Woods. Oh, I got the gun. Let's go. Come on, Deadpool, come here. No way he gets away. Okay, we're good. This is still quite scary, though. Oh, I see him. You're running. No! No, that did not just happen. That was so bad. Okay, it's a bot, so I'm still gonna make it. Anything for Clicks is in here. Welcome to the stream. Anything for Clicks saying, you know who's winning it all. Dude, I feel so bad. I actually can't remember. You an Eagles fan? Is it the Eagles? Eagles would be a solid pick, but I actually don't know. But okay, so here it is. The Wailing Woods prompt. Let's pin this one here. I had a wide open headshot on them as they were opening the chest, and I missed it. But Caden, of course, the Bo Nix question. Bo Nix exceeds expectations and wins a Super Bowl ring before Jaden Daniels. You know what's kind of crazy? I could almost see this happening. I really am starting to believe in like this Broncos organization, right? And I honestly think Denver is closer to being like a really, really good team than like some people might think. The defense is already there. The offensive line is already there, right? Sean Payton, again, he's got his history with the Vikings, but the truth is, like, he is an excellent football coach, right? You could see them, like, if they like crush a draft or two, if they could bring in like a legit difference maker at wide receiver, this becomes a very, very interesting team. There have been far, far worse quarterbacks than Bo Nix that have won a Super Bowl. I don't think that that's crazy, to be honest. I don't honestly think that that's crazy, but we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, Laywell. Appreciate it. Good to have you in here as always. But anything for clicks saying exactly. There we go. It is the Eagles. All right. Nice. Yeah. But I say that like the Commanders are obviously like a very good team right now too. But I could see the Broncos having a little bit more room to grow as a team over like the next 3 years. Like I'm gonna take this question as like, okay, like who's maybe more in line to maximize the rookie contract? I think it might be the Broncos. And it wouldn't be shocking if like 2 years from now, like Denver's like one of the 3 best teams in the AFC. As crazy as that might sound. And I still cannot hit anything. It's chill though. Yeah, stole the kill. All right. But that was a good one. I might actually lean Knicks in the Broncos, though, which, again, is maybe funny coming from me. So, see, we got Henry in here asking if I have any hot takes for Wild Card Weekend. I almost had one. I talked myself out of it, and it actually has to do with the Broncos. I'm not going to go as far as to say that the Broncos will beat the Bills, but I honestly do think it's going to be a game. And it would not shock me if, like, the Broncos were leading late in the fourth quarter and the Bills, like, had to eke it out or anything. Oh, it wasn't your take. Interesting. As far as, like, any other spicy takes might go, because it's, like, that's, like, a lame answer, right? Like, well, I think there almost might be an upset. Ooh, nice. I have to think about that for a sec. I guess the Packers beating the Eagles, that is kind of spicy. I do have the Packers beating the Eagles, which, sorry, anything for clicks. That'd be tough, but and yeah, that is a pretty hot take. I will give you that, Pair Champ. That might be, but Lamar just said if he wins the Super Bowl, he'll start to wear jersey number 1. That would be pretty sick. Although 8 has become so synonymous with him, though. That'd be interesting to see him like switch off of 8, but hey, he can kind of do whatever the heck he wants. But that would be a pretty hot take. It wasn't your take. Whose take was that then? That's interesting. Huh. If Bo Nix still has Sean Payton, then there's a decent chance. Oh, yeah, I don't think Sean's going anywhere, right? I mean, they gave up a draft pick for him. It can be easy to forget, but that certainly seems to have worked out pretty well. Oh, it's just a trap. Okay, we got shooting over here, but how big of a deal is the Watson injury for the Packers? I'm not going to lie. I low-key forgot about that. That is actually a pretty big deal. If you look at their splits with and without Christian Watson, it is pretty significant. And he is like their outside guy, outside of like maybe Dobbs, right? And he is the deep threat, and he and Love do have a good connection. Dude, that's actually crazy. That's so bad on my part. I like completely forgot that happened. Yeah, he's out for the season. That is a pretty significant loss for Green Bay, I will say. Screw it. I'm going to stand on business. I still have them winning. I don't know, man. I think like, I don't know. Am I just like sticking with my take now? Maybe a little bit, but yeah. But it's a big enough deal. Steelers beating the Ravens. That is pretty spicy. Steelers losers of 4 straight beating Baltimore. I mean, hey, if anyone can do it, it's Mike Tomlin, right? They find a way, man. But they do have enough depth. They do at least have like good depth, though, right? Like, okay, they've got Kraft. Maybe Dontavion Wicks can finally like come alive. I've been waiting on that for however many weeks now. Oh, am I gonna get him with the rocket? No, he jumped over it. You're not supposed to do that. It's okay, we're just going to sneak up on them. Oh, they both killed each other. Nice. But they still got Wicks. They still got Kraft. They still got Dobbs. They've still got Reed, right? And they've got that running game with Josh Jacobs. Again, maybe easier said than done. Like, this Eagles defense is pretty good, but... And we'll see about the health of Jalen Hurts. Even if he plays, he might not be 100%, you know? But, let's see. Pearchamp thinks it isn't a big impact. Watson's a deep ball target, and he can be a consistent ball catcher. Still have a lot of young wide receivers. The Packers will drop important. Yeah, Wicks has had those drop issues. That's been the big frustrating thing. Fields comes in and wins it for Pittsburgh. That would be pretty hype. That would be crazy. Justin Fields comes in and wins it. Game Solve says, what do I think about the Vikings Rams game being relocated? Does it play a factor? Yeah, it probably does, right? And again, I say this as a Vikings fan. It sucks for the Rams, right? You can say like, oh, well, SoFi doesn't have like this rockin' atmosphere or anything. But again, like, they have to stay in a hotel now. It's just a different stadium, right? Maybe they have like superstitions and stuff. Like home field advantage goes far beyond just like the crowd. Like, there's comfort in your own locker room, right? The same commute, routine, stuff like that. And all of a sudden, like on a Thursday, you're finding out that you don't have that anymore. It just sucks all around, So, for better or worse, it probably will play a factor in that game. But Sam seen Ghost again. He might, dude. He was seeing him last week. That was pretty tough. That was one of the biggest reasons why we lost, man. A lot of points left on the table because we couldn't hit our throws, It's how it be. It's how it be. But, yeah, there is a lot of injuries in that Packers-Eagles game. No Jair either, right? I mean, Love got banged up. He should be fine, though. I didn't see him on the injury report at all or anything. But we've got so much fighting going on around here. But Henry's feeling the Lamar stinker, and his playoff reputation gets even worse. Dude, if they lose to the Steelers, it's over for him, dude. Like, man, that would be a brutal hit for his rep. If they lost, if they went one and done, like after his best season ever, yeah. Gah! Dang it. All right, we did all right in that game. But, again, if there's anyone that can do it, right, it's Mike Tomlin's Pittsburgh Steelers. But, man, they've just looked so bad. Like, again, they had a nice little 4-game test, 4 straight games against pretty good opponents, right? They had the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Eagles. They lost them all, and they didn't look very good, to be quite honest with you. So the offense just looks broken, right? It's really just, man, I hope George Pickens makes a sick catch, because that's all we can really do. And our running game isn't even that good, but we're going to run it a lot, So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But the Steelers might make it close for a little bit. I could honestly see that one being kind of a blowout, though. But true brutal hit was this the RPG. I got one sick hit with it, but Cam says not watching ND and Penn State. No, not really, to be honest. I mean, I've been like following along a little bit. I've been getting updates in chat, but I don't know. I've kind of fallen off when it comes to college football a little bit, to be honest. Like, I still watch some, but how even is that game going right now? I say I've been following along. I don't even know what the score is right now. It's a close one, 17-10, but nah, we were filling out our playoff bracket earlier. Now we're playing Fortnite while talking about football. But we got Gabe in here, too, saying his hot take is that he's in love with me. Thank you very much. Oh, man. Avato saying truth is that the Steelers not only made the playoffs because their calendar is pretty easy early in the season, they did have a pretty easy schedule to start things out. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. But pretty easy schedule. Yeah, that makes more sense. But I don't even know how many spots we have left, to be honest. We got to be over halfway done at this point, right? We're trying to go to all the different spots. Each spot has a different prompt that will, like, bring up a different discussion point or hot take, something of the like. We had some submitted over the Discord, etc. I haven't gone to retail yet. Been doing retail a lot recently, but I haven't gone here tonight. Cam saying, hardly watched the Dogs this season. Honestly, same. I've tuned it a little bit, but I haven't been as locked in recently. Good game, though? Oh, yeah. It's looking like a good game. There's some NFL talent out on the field, right? Future Colt Tyler Warren out there for Penn State. Gabe saying, if I was commissioner for 3 minutes and I could push any change or adjustment to NFL football play, what would it be? That's a great question. One change. If I have 3 minutes to make one change, Honestly, here's one thing that's been on my mind a lot recently. I would outlaw interviewing assistants in the playoffs for head coaching spots until after the playoffs are done. Like I don't know. I get you have to make your hire quick, but it's like, can't we all just like wait a second? Like if everyone waits, like these guys shouldn't be like getting distracted with interviews while they're getting ready for a playoff game. I say that as a Vikings fan who saw Pat Shurmur just get absolutely walloped by the Eagles in 2017 after he took his little Giants interview, but I don't think that should happen to any team, but clock is ticking. Dynasty watching. All right, so let's pin this one here. So, also, am I about to get shot as I'm pinning the message? Where'd it go? Ah! What's up, Iron Man? Oh, he doesn't have a gun. We're good. I've been getting so many Mickey Mouse kills. It's chill, though. Still haven't won yet, though, but yeah, let's replace the pinned message. All right, so at what point, or maybe there's still hope, these teams screwed up their rebuild or franchise in general? Jags, Colts, Cowboys, and Dolphins. At least for the next few years, honestly, all those guys are looking pretty cooked, to be honest with you. I don't know. Like, I would say the Jaguars, at least, like, okay, they're getting a new head coach, and, like, they absolutely hit their draft pick out of the park in Brian Thomas, like, and I would argue at least that they, like, have the quarterback, like, okay, that helps. But, their Doug Peterson rebuild, which was supposed to be done at this point, like, yeah, like, the fact that they're starting over, maybe that's why they failed. Dolphins, I mean, I've gave my Dolphins speech how many times at this point. They're not in a very good spot. Their cap situation looks pretty bad. They paid to a lot of money, and I don't know. I just feel like they kind of hit their ceiling last year, and their ceiling was wild card team a little bit. Cowboys, again, like, a lot of money tied up into 3 players. Granted, 3 really good players, but again, you feel like 2023, they kind of hit their ceiling. Like, they were so good. They went 12-5. Their defense was dominant. Dak had an MVP caliber year, and they just got dunked on in the playoffs. Like, there's just only so much you can do from there, and I don't even, like, fault them for paying Dak that much. I like Dak a lot. He's a great quarterback, but again, like, okay, what do you do from here, right? How can you go up? And they're apparently keeping Mike McCarthy, and it's like, I guess, like, they played hard for him. Like, that's cool, but, like, I don't know. Where do you go from here? How do you improve? Okay, he's gonna snipe me? No. What's up, dude? Alright, that's fine. But, and then for the Colts, I mean, they're, again, like, Chris Ballard, like, he was a GM that everyone was so high on not that long ago because he had that great run building a competent team for Andrew Luck, and then he retired, and that just kind of changed everything, right? Shane Steichen, a coach that I liked, kind of on the hot seat a little bit, and I get it. He might just be another one of those guys where, I don't know, maybe he's just a coordinator. He hasn't done a good job, it seems like, with the media and, like, culture, and, like, there's all this drama in the locker room, and Richardson didn't quite take the step forward, like, I don't love the direction the Colts are in. They might be closer to tearing it down than, like, originally thought. I mean, they were a team I was super high on going into the season, but they've been a big disappointment. So I would say the one that has the most hope would probably be... Nah, I'm not going to do this to myself. The one that has the most hope is the Jaguars. I actually believe that, though. I honestly, genuinely believe that. Especially if they... Well, but they kept Balky. That's the thing, though. Balky, however you say his name. I don't care. That was the one thing that killed me, though. It's like, dude, like, what serious head coach is going to want to work with that man? We'll see. We'll see, but we'll see. Henry saying Mike McDaniel might be on the hottest seat going into next season. Hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit here. What did I say? Back in March during like free agency, I was like, honestly, hot take. Mike McDaniel will not be the Dolphins head coach after the 2025 season. It's very possible. I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, I think he's gone, right? You have this whole stuff with Tyreek going on, right? Like, oh, I'm leaving. No, I'm not. Last year, Vic Fangio left, and he was like, yeah, I didn't like the culture there. It wasn't all about football, and, like, all these players are like, well, Vic Fangio is actually a bad person and this is good. And it's like, I don't know, man. Who do you trust more? Vic Fangio, who's been doing this for 25 years, or like some random Dolphins player on Twitter, right? And look how it worked out for Vic and look how it worked out for the Dolphins, you know? Yeah, I think his seat is very hot. And like, I've said what I needed to say. I don't want to like keep biting the low-hanging fruit, but yeah. All right, here's the Loot Lake one. Sam Darnold has seemingly had a magnet attached to his face mask all season. Is it time to allow penalty challenges? I don't hate that, to be honest. You know, and they tried to do that with pass interference back a few years ago, right? There's a certain team that got really bent out of shape about a potential no-call pass interference. And the league was like, all right, fine, we'll do it for a year. And the refs were like, this is stupid. We're not going to reverse anyone ever because we're never wrong. And then, like, nothing happened and they just changed it back, right? So I think that might be the toughest thing is, like, getting the refs on board, to be honest. Because, again, like, there is a precedent for penalty challenges, at least one penalty. What I might want to see, instead of a challenge, right? The NFL has clearly shown they have the capability of doing this. Let's have an expedited review, right? Sometimes New York will just make the call and be like, "No, you got the first down," like we saw it. Like, don't even waste time with a challenge or review or anything, right? Like, he got the first down. Like, why can't we just do that with a face mask, right? New York makes the call like, "No, that's a face mask." Now, you might worry about getting into ticky-tack territory where, like, every single little thing we have to take a look at because, like, you know, as they like to say, holding happens on every play. You could probably find a face mask on most plays. You know, like, Lord knows about, like, the lawless stuff that goes on in the trenches or, like, a fight for the football, right? But I think within reason, you could be like, yeah, if there was, like, a Sam Darnold moment where it's, like, a very decisive face mask is just straight up not called, like, you could at least, like, do something about that. But yeah, I think if you reviewed, like, every single penalty, that would probably slow the game down. But Saints got screwed in the 2018 NFC Championship game. They weren't bent out of shape. Hey, I say this as a Vikings fan. They were, and to poke the bear and play devil's advocate a little bit, like, yes, they were. Like, the ref should have just gotten the call right. The Saints also did win the coin toss in overtime and got the ball and responded with an interception. Like, it's not like that play ended the game. It could have ended the game. And yeah, I get why, like, they were upset, but also, like, I don't personally have a history with the Saints, but it's like, you know, if we're going to talk about teams with unfortunate endings in NFC Championship games, you know, isn't that crazy what happens? Hi. What's up, dude? Let's go. Tim Tebow? Wait, what about Tim Tebow? Oh, trivia time. I missed that. Oh, I missed a trivia question. Tim Tebow might have been the answer, but Mr. Unlimited. Okay, well, let's read the question instead of just the answer. Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix have the opportunity to be the first rookie to win their first career playoff games on the road since this current QB. Last time was 10 years ago. Yeah, it would have been Russ against Washington, right? That was the game that RG3, like, re-injured his knee and more or less ended his career. Mr. Unlimited. Mr. Unlimited. I can't believe that video is real. Tim Tebow would have been a crazy one. Although, was he a rookie or was that his second year? That was his second year. And that was in Denver, that playoff game against the Steelers. But that was a crazy one. That was a crazy one. Tim Tebow and the Broncos. That was a time. Top 50. Hey, here we go. We're starting to cook a little bit. But Bucks have had a few NFC Championship game mishaps. Was that Bert Emanuel? Was that in the NFC Championship game, right? Yeah, that was pretty crazy. When am I squatting with the viewers? Well, I tell you what, probably not tonight since we're already almost done. But I tell you what, and again, I'm going to be annoying and keep plugging the Discord. But I tell you what, next time I do something like this, whether it's this game or another game, I'll even like set something up in the Discord. We'll have like a little game night or something. Look at that. Ryan Nasty's back. He was a rookie. Tebow was a rookie that year. Ah, I suppose 2011. He was in the same class as Cam Newton. That makes sense. I had to think about that for a sec. I think he and Cam were the only first-round QBs that year, if I'm not mistaken. But oh, shoot. I missed your injury question. I'm sorry, Sebastian. Let me scroll up here while I'm running. Okay. So Sebastian's saying, do y'all think being injury-prone is a real thing, or fans are just assigning meaning to freak occurrences and bad luck? I think in some cases it depends. Like, I would say, like, okay, Cam Newton was a little injury-prone. Some of that was his play style, and also, like, the NFL just did not give him, like, the proper protection that they gave other quarterbacks later. Like, Cam came in, like, way not ahead of his time, but like it's a shame that like he didn't get the protection that quarterbacks get now, right? Because that honestly did probably cut his career short. He was injury prone. It wasn't necessarily his fault, but it also kind of was, you know. Or you look at like early career Lamar Jackson, like he missed a lot of games. Like there is some truth to like quarterbacks, like more mobile quarterbacks, more daring quarterbacks missing more games just because like, you know, they're taking more hits than maybe they should. I get it. You want to go all out to, like, get the first down and everything. But so I would say some of it is on them. It's harsh to say, like, it's all their fault, you know. Also, holy crap. But all right, let's shield up here before we go crazy here. And I will get the Immaculate Grid into here before we're all said and done. I will get that Immaculate Grid going, too. But for Tebow. Parachamp asking what happens to Kirk Cousins. Does he become a starter or backup somewhere? I think he'll try and push to be a starter, right? Maybe he'll like ask for a trade or something. I don't know that the Falcons necessarily want to take on all that money, but I think if you're Kirk, like you certainly still want to try and play. You're like, I'm not the worst quarterback in the league, you know, like I'm still probably one of the 32 best QBs. Maybe like if a team doesn't get a quarterback in the draft, he'll be like their bridge guy, which is kind of a crazy thing to say, like Kirk Cousins bridge quarterback, but that could be the case. What's up, dude? Ah, I didn't get a shot off in time. You know what? We're going to do something stupid. Oh, I see you. Come on. Where'd you go? Falcons. Yeah, the Falcons have had an interesting year, haven't they? I was high on them a little bit, too. Oh, what was that? Oh, he threw that thing way down there. You trying to distract me? I don't want to waste too many rockets, but can anyone make a jersey edit of that Kirk Vikings? Yeah, we're good. We've been down that road enough. We're good. I'd rather have Daniel Jones on a cheap contract than Kirk on his. I liked when Mike Evans did Mike Evans thing. Mike Evans can have his way. Hall of Famer. I wonder if that's going to be a question or not. But yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think maybe not first ballot because like you look at like the precedent for first ballot wide receiver Hall of Famers. But he should get in. Jeez. I'm not having a day with the sniper. It's chill though. Come on. All right, pull out the rocket. No, I sold that so hard. That was terrible. All right, we're just going to push. Oh, no. There you are. There we go. Oh, I'm getting shot at from somewhere else now, too. Don't worry, I've still got rockets for you. Ah, jeez Louise. I always be doing the most, saying stuff like, jeez Louise, golly. Especially when I play. No! Oh my gosh. Sorry if that was a little loud. That scared the crap out of me. That almost got me. That would have been bad. Dude, I think there's like someone new that moved into me today. I know they're probably mad at me right now. Like, this dude will not shut up. I'm so scared. Go take the launch pad and just get out of town. Yep. Oh my gosh, I missed it. There we go. Yeah, we got to worry about the storm, too. The traps, not again. The aim does go crazy. A ring and 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Yeah, Mike is getting in. Oh, he absolutely should, right? And, you know, you can take the cynical approach of like, well, like 1,000 yards is just an arbitrary number. But it's like, okay. But, like, literally only Jerry Rice has done that, right? Like, I don't know. It's cool. It's sick. It should be celebrated, right? Like, it's the cool stuff like that. Like celebrating that. That's why the Hall of Fame exists, you know? Like, heck yeah, Mike Evans was a wide receiver one on a Super Bowl winning team. Like, that doesn't mean he's better than Calvin Johnson because he has a ring and Calvin doesn't. But like, yeah, that should help his resume. He was an important figure in NFL history. Like, absolutely. So, who do I think wins the Super Bowl first? Jamar, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, or Puka Nacua? Oh man. Well, I sure hope Justin Jefferson, but I don't honestly know. Like, I might rank CeeDee Lamb last. Chase, I could see like Burrow, Chase, Buddy Ball. But we were just talking about the Joe Burrow, Dan Marino legacy, right? I'm gonna say Puka. And I just said, it's funny. I just said, oh, Stafford's probably not getting a ring again. Well, I guess that only leaves one. I mean, I guess that just means I have to pick Jefferson if we're going to narrow it down like that. I don't know, but oh man, what? Scott Sterling. Okay, I'm loving all the friend ads. Yes, please keep adding me. Seriously, like it would be fun to like get a little Dr. Pigskin squad match going at some point. Actually, maybe I'll tease this for now, but let's just say I have a cool idea for the off season that we could do over Xbox or maybe even PlayStation. I think it's cross compatible. Also, holy crap. That is a legendary semi-auto. Thank goodness it's a semi-auto because we know I ain't hitting with the bolt. But, nah, if you add me on Xbox, let's just say that might pay dividends in a little bit and I'm going to die. Let's chill. Unless I get the rocket kill. Nope. No, you did not hit me from there. But, yeah, man. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Was the beginning of my Lions hate when Panay slapped that man? It had something to do with Panay. It was the catch. Not just the catch, but the lead up of that game, right? The Vikings were, what, 9-2. The Lions were 5-6. And everyone's like, the Lions are gonna win. They're favored, and they should be, because the Vikings just suck that hard. And actually, it sucks that the Vikings are getting into the playoffs instead of the Lions. Dude, I wanted to win that game by 50 so badly. I was like, I don't care if we don't blow out another team. We need to show that we're the Vikings and we're not the little brother. And then the Lions beat us on the Sewell catch. I was livid. What about Sue? I actually kind of liked Ndamukong Suh. I can't lie. I actually kind of liked him. Henry saying Stetson Bennett's going to lead Puka to the promised land. I believe Stetson Bennett and Sean McVay. Oh, man. Y'all, after stream voice chat, if you want to join the Discord. There we go. There we go. And no incorrect statements were made. I am getting stream sniped. I don't know how many I have left. To be honest, I'm starting to get a little tired. It's almost 11 o'clock. I might do like one or two more, do the Immaculate Grid, and then call it a night. We have been going for like over 2.5 hours at this point, but it has been pretty good. Where have I not gone yet? I have not gone to Anarchy, I don't think. We'll do Anarchy. We'll see how this game goes, and then I might do Immaculate Grid and call it a night. I don't know how many I have left, but this has gone on longer than I anticipated because I've actually been like lasting longer in these games. Who am I rocking with, K-Dot or Drizzy? Come on. I mean, definitely Kendrick, right? I mean, come on. I mean, Drake got murdered. I mean, let's be real. And you know what? You were right. I got to give it to you. Drake is kind of a weirdo. The signs were there, man. The signs were there. Even if the full extent of Kendrick's allegations aren't necessarily true, but Isn't he like already 35 years old? Talking about Stetson. Oh, he's up there. He is kind of reaching unk status already. Stenson Bennett in his debut is going to be an unk still got it moment. Sue is awesome on the Bucks. Bucks Sue versus Rogers was amazing. Oh, they had some beef too. Yeah. Oh, they went back. Remember when Sue stepped on Rogers in the cold? He was like, it was cold. I couldn't feel my feet. I was like, dog, we just saw you slam the Packers center's head like a year ago. That was kind of funny, though. Dominic and Sue. Remember Dominic Raiola? Oh, man. Oh, okay. So prompt number 4 for Anarchy. Change the fumble out of bounds rule. I actually don't mind it, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Like, just hold on to the ball. Like, it can be a little frustrating, especially when it happens to your team. And I get, like, it is inconsistent with, like, fumbles going out of bounds, and that can be a little frustrating. I don't hate it, though. Again, it's just, like, another one of those, like, chaotic moments. So it's like, okay, let's keep it in the game. And I say this, like, if you go way back to, like, the early days of my stream, this was my first ever game stream. Vikings versus Eagles, Thursday Night Football. Jefferson actually fumbled out of bounds near the end zone, and it caused a touchback in that game. And I was so salty. I'm like, well, good job, Eagles. That took so much skill of you to get the ball back. But it's like, you know, like, it is stupid, but like, oh, I'm dead. Who even got me? Where is that even coming from? And why am I trying to find them instead of running? Oh, I see you. He's gonna snipe me. No, he's not. Hold on. Oh, no. What's up, dude? Yes! Let's go! Oh, man. How am I doing this? Caden's boss suggested the idea of it being a touchback. Essentially, the team that fumbles retains possession, goes the opposite 30. So the drive starts over. That's not the worst idea I've ever heard, to be honest. That would still retain some of the chaos, and you'd still, like, get punished for fumbling. That would be insane. No, I mean, the first time that happens, like, or you can imagine, like, late in a game, like, you're reaching out to try and, like, score a tying touchdown, and you fumble, and it's like, well, you start back at the 30, and you have 10 seconds. Like, that would be crazy. But that would be insane. A 28-play drive, that would be pretty epic. Maybe we do need that. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what we got in here. More shield, thank goodness. More shield. I don't have any shield. But rank the backups: Kenny Pickett, Joe Milton, Daniel Jones, and Justin Fields. Ooh, that's a good one. See, Milton looked so good, but it's week 18 against the Bills, just kind of coasting. So I kind of want to take that with a grain of salt. I'm not going to rank him last, though. I'm going to rank Kenny Pickett last. I'll say Kenny Pickett last. I'll say Joe Milton third. Daniel Jones or Justin Fields? I might say Fields 1, Jones 2, Milton 3, Pickett 4. I think that's how I'd rank them. But Harbaugh would find a way to salt the game off. Oh, yeah. Fumble on purpose to keep your drive going. Wait, yeah, that's genius. That would be something that Jim Harbaugh would do. We're the lucky ones. Kyle Trask clears. Florida Kyle Trask was a different animal, though. Florida Kyle Trask was kind of good. Him and Kyle Pitts. Malik Willis. Oh, this dude. This dude and Malik Willis. Last year was Romeo Dobbs. Now it's Malik Willis. Can't wait for Chris Brooks to be your guy next year. Yeah, 2-minute warning teams could abuse it, I guess. Yeah. You would run into some riskiness, though, like just trying to, like, purposefully fumble it, and then it's like, oh, we actually, like, gave the ball. I don't, but yeah, I get what you mean. Notre Dame just went sicko mode. What happened? What happened in that game? Did they just, I can't remember if they were trailing or leading. I know someone was up 7 last I checked, but yeah, that, you know, maybe we got to get your boss, Caden, to cook up for the NFL Rules Committee a little bit. I like the outside-the-box thinking. What's the last book I read? Oh, I'm going to tell on myself. This is a little embarrassing. I actually have to think about this. I'm not going to lie. What is the last book that I read? Oh, I remember. It was Oh Beautiful. And it was, believe it or not, a fictional story that takes place in the fictional town of Avery, North Dakota. It's about we got someone ziplining. But it's about a reporter named Eleanor who grew up in rural North Dakota, and I just died. That's so tough. It's 23-24 Penn State. I think that'll be the last Fortnite game from me, but I'll finish up this Oh Beautiful tangent, and then I will do an Immaculate Grid, and then we might call it a night because it's getting pretty late, to be honest. I got work tomorrow, but we'll switch over here. I gotta switch my TV screen, but Oh Beautiful. It is about Eleanor, a Korean American who grew up in rural North Dakota, took a reporter job, moved out to the big city, New York City and all that stuff, right? And she gets assigned to go cover like the big oil rig in North Dakota, which that was actually a thing. If you remember from like the mid 2010s, right? There was a lot of oil drilling and stuff like that, right? But she comes back and it's like a return to home type of story, and like connecting with her past and stuff. And hey, we got Christine in here. We read that book together, and we I say that, but yeah, maybe I didn't finish it yet, but that is the last book that I've actually read. But I get the general idea of where it's going. NYC represent? Oh, yeah. But maybe that's my sign I need to finish that book. That was like over a year ago now. I might need to like actually restart that book. But so last book I read to completion, though. Honestly, I would have to sit and think for a while, which is pretty rough. Tough look for the brand. But anyways. Let's do this Immaculate Grid to call it a night right here. But good to have you in here, Christine. Hope you had a good night. Hope that overtime wasn't too stressful for you. A lot of work getting done. The gold star winner herself. But here we go. All right. We got Chiefs Jags. We have Chiefs Rams. We have Chiefs Dolphins. Jags Colts. Rams Colts. Dolphins Colts. And then 3,000-yard passers for the Jags, Rams, and Dolphins. All right. So Jags, Chiefs. You could get Nick Foles off the top, right? Campbell. Who's Campbell? Football fans don't know how to read. Oh, man. Tough. Chris Conley. Oh, that's a great one. I'm doing that. Also went to Georgia and made a Star Wars short film. Chris Conley, 4%. That's a good one. All right. Chiefs and Rams, off the top of my head. Okay, I literally just had one in my head. You could also get Nick Foles for this, actually. Calais Campbell. For Jags, Juwan Taylor, that would have been a good one, too. Oh, he would have been a good one for Jags Dolphins, but they don't line up. That's tough. Sammy Watkins, Chiefs Rams, that would have been a good one. Dude, who am I thinking of? Some washed guy. Carson Wentz. That's a sneaky good one. Ooh, Carson Wentz. We'll do it. I'm going to get carried by Chad again, but it's cool. We'll try and at least get one original one that I can think of on my own. I don't want to do Sean Smith, but I will. I am such a Sean Smith merchant when it comes to this game. 0.2%, whatever. Chad Henne for Jags, 3,000-yard passer. That would be a good one. We could get Henne. We could get Trevor Lawrence, David Garrard, Mark Brunell, Gardner Minshew. We'll do Henne. Henne is a good one. Anything's possible. 1%. Wow, not bad. Can still put it in there. Wait. Jawan Taylor. Wait. Oh, Sammy Watkins, Chiefs, Rams. Oh, shoot. Samson Abukum for Colts, Rams. There we go. That's a pretty good one. That's an original one. 1%. Bang. Let's go. All right. Colts, Dolphins. Oh, man. Or Colts, Jags. We'll also try and get some 3,000-yard passers. What about Matt Moore? Did Matt Moore play enough with the Dolphins to get the 3,000 yards? I don't know that he did. Let's see. I mean, we could get Marino. We could probably get Greasy. That one's a little scary, though, because he played pretty early. We could get Tannehill, Tua. Chad Pennington? Did Chad Pennington get to 3,000? I think he did, right? Let's go. 8% Chad Pennington. Yeah, he did go off in that 54-51 game. Yeah, he had a defensive touchdown in that game. Jeremy McNichols for Colts Jags. Jeremy McNichols. I'm not going to lie. I actually did not know that. Bang! Oh, that's disgusting. 0.04%. David Woodley, Justin Forsett for Colts Jags. I didn't know he played for those teams either. That's actually insane. Also, I'm not going to lie. I don't know who David Woodley is. For Rams, 3,000 yard passer, we could get Stafford, we could get Goff, we could get Kurt Warner, Mark Bulger. I wonder if Norm Van Brocklin, I think he might have gotten 3,000's a lot in that era. Yeah, that was too much. Dang it. Jim Everett. We'll get him. Bit of an older guy. All right. 146. Not bad for a brain that's running on fumes at this point. It's 10:49. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. That was a nice little way to end the night right there, right? We've got the nice little Jewett Lake wallpaper that you guys could see for a sec. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, that was a fun little 3 hours right there. Nice way to just kick back, relax on a Thursday night. If you guys are in one of the many different crazy climate-related things that's going on right now, whether it's the snowstorm or the fires, I hope you guys stay safe out there. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Hope you guys are ready for some awesome playoff football. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And until next time, the doctor is out. I'll see y'all later. And maybe